Jesus Christ. The moment I started the video, this thing climbed up to using 65% of my CPU.
Wow.
Is that hardware acceleration on? Yeah, hardware acceleration's on.
So you know that hardware acceleration pulls more from your GPU, right?
Yeah, but it said that it said that turning that on actually takes the load off. I mean, I will turn it off.
So what it does is it's supposed to not put as much stress on your CPU and put more on your GPU. But it will pull more from your computer overall, because basically what it's doing is it's trying to use more parts of your computer so that you don't have as many frame drops.
Okay. So I don't know what would be better. Leave it on or off.
If you're looking for stability, I would turn it off. If you're looking for performance, leave it on. If you're not streaming, I think you'll be fine with it off.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't be having anything that's like pulling even more from your PC that would cause your cam to like lag out and freeze up and stuff. Because I know like the first time we did this, your cam was fine, except it was upside down. But
right, yeah. I mean, the fact that I was streaming last time was the reason why I was having so many issues.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna turn that off, so it's gonna disconnect me. Tony, are you gonna stream today?
I think I'm live now.
Okay, cool. I will leave that up to you.
I'm trying to decide, figure out if the people watching my stream's going to hear my voice twice, because I think that's how it's going to be.
Okay.
So
I will reconnect.
I'll go to your stream and check that out.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute myself though.
Actually, if it's this way, I mean, I don't think this is gonna be an issue. I won't have to worry too much about it. Yeah, I won't be worrying about it. And then that'll make my life a little bit easier, because then I won't have to...
Hello, test. JJ told me to test this.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me on the stream, though?
I'm not watching it.
Okay.
I will turn it on my computer.
Yeah, so the only way somebody will hear double of you is if it's one of us who has your stream up.
Okay, so yeah, just mute me then.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright.
Is it Nisi or Nacy?
It's technically
Nacy.
It's Nisi, but it's supposed to be Nacy, but Nacy was taken.
Look at how pretty it is.
God, I need coronavirus to go away so I can go get a haircut.
I feel ya. I need to get my beard trimmed.
Jeez.
Like no one's business.
Yeah, like my hair's starting to get as long as it was back in freaking high school, and that was the thing.
Oh, so
my head's like yours, just upside down.
So should I go ahead and add that helmet into my inventory? Like, are we doing that now? Like the bread and you said.
So the food, I'm just gonna leave that in the party inventory.
Okay.
And then whenever somebody wants them, we can just use it. I did give you the hat though. So I think if you go to equipment and then manage equipment, you should be able to add the item from there.
Yes. Yeah. If you go to equipment, like you said, go to manage equipment. That'll then bring up a search menu where you can type in Hat of Wizardry, and it should show up in there.
Okay, cool. I got it.
The Hat of Wizardry, which nobody in this group can technically use.
Yeah, because it's a focus.
Yeah. Well, because it actually has to be attuned to by a wizard.
Oh.
Great.
Yes. So the Hat of Wizardry, you must be a wizard to attune to it, and then you can use it as a spellcaster. It's sort of like the stereotypical wizard hat. It's like, light blue with like yellow stars on it. Like, You look like somebody cosplaying as you know, a really crappy Gandalf.
Gandalf's the shit, though.
Gandalf is the shit. I'll fight anyone who says he isn't.
Yeah, like, who doesn't want an old as shit wizard who comes over and gives them fireworks to blow up randomly? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, do you think?
See, do you watch Critical Role at all, Lucas?
I don't, and it's mainly because of the fact that I have a hard time sitting down and watching people play D&D because I immediately get my heart racing and wanting to play it, and then I just walk into the dungeon and I just have to sit down and like homebrew an item or add stuff to Encounter Plus or you know something like that. But yeah, I generally do not watch it. I have watched plenty of clips. I've watched a lot of videos. I've studied a lot of stuff. I've watched plenty of videos on the Matt Mercer effect.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, that's the thing. Having you guys in the group, you know, you and Tony being Critical Role fans, like, luckily, I have not felt the same like feeling that some DMs have felt in the past where their players come to the table and are like, I want you to be Matt Mercer and I want to be Travis. And you know, it's like,
yeah, Lucas, where's your production team, dude? Come on.
yeah, really.
Step it up, bro. Come on. Where are your script writers?
Where's my 20 years as a professional voice actor?
Yeah, seriously. God.
Yeah.
Subverting my expectations over here.
Right. Goddamn right. Yeah, no, I've watched plenty of it. I've watched plenty of interviews with Matt Mercer, you know, Marisha Ray and stuff, you know, some of the other people from it. But yeah, I listen to more podcasts, more D&D podcasts, because in my opinion, I can walk away and listen to it as I'm going about my business. But actually, I was just talking to Stacy about this. I started reading the Forgotten Realms books, and I found the audiobook versions of those. So I just listened through 10 hours of the first book.
Oh, wow.
And finished it, and I started the second book today. I'm about 2 hours in. So I think that's going to be the fact that it's taking place in the Forgotten Realms and like has a historical context to the world that you guys are playing in is something that interests me a lot more right now. Oh, I'm getting messages. What are these messages about? Oh, okay. All right, so I want to do a quick recap to do the landing page for today. So,
oh, did you want us to like do the travel from the gnomes to here to the dwarven area?
no,
that too.
Yeah, I mean it's.
If we could discuss if we talked about anything.
Yeah, because I know Stacy brought that up to me the other day. You know, she was like asking about like when you guys were traveling from Phandalin to Adabras and from Adabras to the gnomes and from the gnomes to the excavation site. You know, the conversations that have gone on. So I'll let you guys discuss that. You know, while I write up the landing page for today.
Okay. So was there anything in particular that you wanted to talk about, Stacy?
Yeah. So, well, I figured we would be all excited about our battle and everything, and meeting the gnomes and all our stuff we got. But yeah.
I think I would be a little more excited, Iluna, if I didn't almost get my arm bitten off by a fucking mimic.
True, but yes, and I imagine we discussed how crazy Factor was.
Factor?
Except
Yeah.
I feel like Iluna. don't
here,
think she's a genius
yeah,
because
yeah.
she made this machine. So do we hate her or kind of
You know
I
what?
mean,
are intrigued what she might want to build if she could build anything else?
have this conversation more in character so that it develops your personalities a little
I'm
bit more.
trying to.
I don't think Factor was a bad person. I just think she was a very one-track person, like can only focus on one thing, and that's why she almost shot me with the crossbow bolt several times. Yeah. Can't maybe a
Would,
nice person, but can't say I was too big of a fan.
I mean,
would
based
we
on
consider her as um someone to go back to see if she could create us a machine or
I mean, it's definitely
anything?
possible.
Or
Maybe after we go and visit the dwarves and then head back to town, maybe we can come back up here and see what she could craft for us. And if we
as
have anything for her to use to craft.
true.
based on
Yeah.
what
Because
the
I was
other
definitely fascinated with the machine and can possibly overlook her intense craziness.
What
I
were
mean,
you gonna
maybe
say, Tony?
she's genius somewhere else.
I was just gonna say, based on what the other gnomes were saying, she's kind of like driven just by her want to test her machines. Like she doesn't worry about anyone's well-being, including her own kind. Like
What do you think I'm not even entirely sure what we could ask her to make for us.
I mean, they said that she's kind of talented with Arbalest, but I don't
Yeah.
unless we want to
Arbalest. That's like crossbows and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
unless we want to go for full like dragon killer in Game of Thrones. Like
Iluna, maybe she could craft you some type of weapon.
it's
I
true.
mean, if she has a proficiency for making crossbows and ranged weapons, I don't see why not. You know, there's definitely a possibility, or maybe some type of special arrows for you.
That would be helpful. I definitely was intrigued with the arrows, as you can imagine. So
Yeah,
we'll just
maybe.
put her on the back burner and see if we feel like going back in there and saying hi.
Yeah.
So
I think
am
that's a
I
good idea.
the only one who has a little suspicion on the motives of Bibble, Stib, and Dabble Dob? We saw them with a gun briefly.
Oh, the ray.
Yeah, right when after our mimic battle, they had a gun quickly hidden away. It
Yeah.
caught my attention, but we had other focus, so
I think they were pretty devoted to their kings, and I didn't get the sense that there was any ill intent. They seemed to stand by both their kings pretty stoutly, so I definitely think the guns were interesting and probably not going to work the way they wanted them to work, but yeah,
they're
the idea of
definitely,
those
sorry.
the idea behind their ray gun, their insanity ray gun, or sanity ray gun, whichever, was interesting. Don't know if it would work. Feel like it's probably a little more along the lines of cooking somebody in their own skin, but who knows? I hope they don't try it out on their kings. Maybe try it out on Factor first.
Oh no. Maybe. So they definitely had a mind for all their inventions. They thought way out of the box.
I think that's putting it lightly. I think they were definitely thinking out of the box. I do have a question for you, though, Lucas. About like if I asked if Vanadar could have prayed before bed, and you said you'd get back to me.
Oh yeah. So
I think I rolled a 9 on the religion check you told me to roll.
yeah.
I think you
Um,
rolled a 9 too.
So I was actually gonna retcon one thing because I wanted to. I will address that. Um, because you guys headed out right after helping with the gnomes, and you got there right as nighttime was falling.
Yeah.
So I will address that when
No, I thought we took a rest.
We took a rest
you
at the dwarf place.
you took a rest of the dwarves, which is what we're gonna
Oh,
start with.
okay.
So yeah, you guys are basically going to be, which, like I said, I'm just finishing up doing the splash screen right now, um, and that's where we're gonna start, and that's where that night you'll get any kind of guidance.
Am I supposed to know what retcon means?
It just means like changing the story.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so like if I said if I ever say like we're gonna retcon something, that means like, hey, we're gonna scrap whatever happened, and this is how I'm gonna change it.
Okay.
I won't try to do it often, but I do sometimes find myself getting into that reality of like, hey, I messed up on this thing, and now I need to change it.
Okay.
So, did I miss something that is being changed? I
No,
wandered
no.
off because I broke. Okay.
Yeah, nothing's really being changed. It's like I said, it's more just the fact that like I know I told you guys to put in for the long rest, but like technically speaking, at this exact moment, you have not long rested. We're gonna role play the scene of you guys getting to the cave at night and talking to the dwarves and stuff like that, and then you'll have your rest, and then you'll do whatever you do with them.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Good. I kind of wanted that.
Yeah, yeah, no, and like I said, I had those plans. I should have everything set up. Yeah, I still have Gnome Guard up and I'm on chill. Wow.
So just a little update. Because I'm recently discovering I have a dice addiction. I ordered like one of my first dice I ordered off that Die Hard Dice website, and I guess it says we'll send you a free gift if you can explain how you found us or what you're. So I went to it saying, oh, I'm just entering into my first campaign of D&D. They sent me the dice that I ordered, a whole nother set of dice as a free gift, and then 2 metal dice
Yep.
because of the wait for COVID. And I showed my mom, and my mom's like, "Oh, that's what I'll get." So I bought my mom a order of metal dice, and I have a couple coming for
Nice.
me. I'm super excited.
Nice. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, I actually have I had a similar encounter with Die Hard. So Kaylee bought me. Is this? Yeah, this is the dice of dead characters. Kaylee bought me this set, which is a black and red metal set.
So cool.
And they sent a free set with that because she was saying that it was my birthday. And then I also ordered a set of sorcerer dice from them. And when they sent it, they also sent a free metal die. It's a copper die, but they
I like
actually
that.
sent. I love this thing. I mean, it's so clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But they sent 2 full sets because these are the dice of dead characters. Any character that I ever played through to their death. This is the bag that their dice go in. Ooh. But yeah, I love Die Hard Dice. They are a great company.
Like they sent me a handwritten, personalized note, and I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, that's kind of like, look at that.
It's awesome of them. Yeah. Yeah. That
It's
was
insane.
I think the one they wrote Kaylee is somewhere over here. But yeah, no, I love Die Hard Dice. I think they're a great company with awesome customer service.
It definitely seems that way. So I'm
I'll
like
be right
if
back.
I'm gonna order a thing of metal dice, I'm definitely ordering it from them.
Oh yeah.
And I made sure
No,
to put on there that my mom is thinking about getting into D&D and she wants to learn more about it and everything. So, like I told her, I'm like, because it sent me a coupon code too, and I'm like, here, mom, I'll use my coupon code for you. Just pick any dice on here that you want, and I'll buy it for you.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then
I love the fact that she's getting into that.
yeah, she briefly looked at that and she was really intrigued by the artificer, but like
Mhm.
me nor JJ know anything about that. So she
I love the artificer because the artificer is essentially a war wizard, but when you play an artificer, it's more about going over the top with um your explanation of how and why things are the way they are, like how your spells work. A wizard, when they cast fireball, they're literally conjuring energy from another plane or like, another location, or just generating it into this fireball that they then launch, and it creates the effect. An artificer creates a mechanical device that has pockets of sulfur in it or something, that when you click a button, it explodes it out at a location that you choose, and it ignites the sulfur into an explosion. When you cast light, it's not that you're, warping the fabric of the arcane web around this object, making it glow. You literally have a flashlight that you create that is powered by arcane energy, but it's a light bulb, basically. They get this ability where they can create an object that holds a recording of a voice. It's basically like a cassette tape, and you could make it that. And I think that is the coolest thing about artificers, is that it gives you so many more opportunities to role play what their spells are.
yeah.
Yeah, love them. What's up, Stacy?
Yeah, I'm trying to add this clockwork amulet to equipment, and it's not showing up. So is it not equipment? Because I looked it up on D&D and Beyond, and it says it's a wondrous item. Is that something I would put in the notes? I can't find it in the quick. I don't know.
So
I
you go into
typed
equipment, go to
maybe
manage
I
equipment.
missed. Okay. If I misspelled it like 4 times, it's gonna be annoying.
Yeah, no. So if you go into equipment and click the button that says manage equipment, and in the
Yeah,
filter,
I'm in there.
yeah, where type in clock, and it should be the only
Oh.
item that shows up, and then you click the add button that's right next to it.
Okay, because I definitely typed in clockwork amulet.
Oh yeah, you
What? Nothing. Oh.
Like I said, don't type in the whole thing. Just type in clock. If you type in clock, it's the only thing that comes up.
Ugh. It's definitely not showing up. Wait, I found it. Maybe it's just being slow. Okay, found it. Yeah, I was just typing too many words apparently.
Yeah, that happens a lot. I generally recommend just loading up like the first couple letters.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So like I said, we're gonna address this. We're sort of gonna get rolling here, and we'll have James and Michelle picking up whenever they get here. So the three of you headed to the Dwarven excavation site. Let me. I want to have reference to make sure that the screen is upright.
Oh yeah. Encounter Plus says WebSocket disconnected for me.
It does?
It does, yeah.
All right.
I see nothing.
Try reloading the page now.
It still says it for me.
It
Okay,
does.
same. I thought it was just me. Do we need like a new link?
You shouldn't.
Yeah, because I bookmarked it and it worked last
Oh.
week.
Oh wait. Okay. Hold on. Yep. Okay. Shoot. Copy. Sorry, I just realized why it probably was going to do that. Just leave him in the right here. All right, go to that one.
Does that mean that we're gonna have to update our?
Yeah, unfortunately. So you're gonna have to go into your extension for Beyond or Encounter Plus on Chrome, and you're gonna have to update that link that's in there because that happened. Yeah.
It's still saying it's disconnected for me, the new
Yep,
link.
me too.
Oh, some bitch.
Yeah, so before we update.
Damn it! I know why. Let's get this up.
Did you see my bag, Tony?
Yeah,
Of Reese's?
I also saw you having a very hard time opening it.
I was trying to open it more without like ripping it to the point where they just explode everywhere, and I just gave up.
Why? That would have been a stream highlight.
No. Oh my god, they're like, I'm gonna have to go put them in the freezer. Yeah, hold on, I'll be right back.
Oh, I hate this. I hate so much. Bum bum. Dovahkiin, Dovahkiin. See network. There we go. Advanced settings. Port forward. Yeah, I already have that port forwarded. All right, I'm gonna try.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So make sure you go to that new link, and then you're gonna copy and paste that link into.
No, you don't need to.
Oh, good. It's going. Yeah, I can see Zash.
Yeah, I saw all of our pass rolls, so I was like, might as well test it first.
Thank God, because all I had to do was actually go into my my Xfinity and refresh my port forward. That makes life easier.
Okay, I'm gonna go tell my mom that we're starting because she's like watching Judge Judy until we're ready.
Yeah.
Just
I'm gonna,
for the incentive.
what's up?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
So
I don't know why Encounter isn't working.
did you
Ooh,
use did you use the new link I sent you?
I forget where to put it.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to do any of the updating with the plugin. Just go to your Encounter Plus tab, and do you see the artwork, like the newbies and all that stuff?
Yeah, go to your encounter plus.
Okay, shit. What? Okay, it's working.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know. Why it wasn't.
Just test it real quick, Stacy. Do like an initiative roll on D&D Beyond.
To close this.
Callie, shut up.
Okay.
All right, yeah, you're good.
Okay.
It's
Yep.
still connected. You're
Okay.
fine.
What's up, James? Oh. All right. So while James is helping Michelle get set up, we will finish up addressing what we went over right before the end of last session. So the three of you, and I'll do a recap. Actually, I'll just do the recap right now. So last session, Shaylin and Cedric woke up. Well, Shaylin woke up early in the morning, as she wont to do as an elf, and she heard that there was talk about a dragon being spotted out towards the west. One second. All right, we're just gonna wait 1 second. Once Michelle gets connected, then I'll start this up.
Okay.
While she's getting connected, I'm gonna go grab my water.
Okay.
Yo, dog.
So can I ask you a question just to clarify Flurry of Blows a little bit?
Yes.
So it's beginning of my round. I attack. My attack hits, and then I say I'm gonna Flurry of Blows. Do I roll damage for that initial attack?
Absolutely.
And then I would roll twice for the 2 Flurry of Blow hits.
Correct.
To see if they hit, and then if they both hit, I would roll damage for both of them.
Absolutely.
So in total, it would be 3 attacks.
Right, because when you take the attack action, you are making that initial strike. Flurry of Blows lets you use a key point to then make 2 additional unarmed strikes.
Okay. I just wanted a little clarification on it, because I was like, I don't know if it like takes or like replaces the initial hit, so in actuality I'm only hitting twice, or am I hitting 3 times? I just wanted a little clarification.
Yeah, the reason why the monk actually gets that many is because, for one, it has to be unarmed strikes. So you cannot use, even if you're using a monk weapon, they have to be unarmed strikes. Now, if you're something like, I say, a Sun Soul monk, where Sun Soul monks get this ability to, they're basically Super Saiyans from Dragon Ball. They're the best monk class in my opinion. They can, instead of using unarmed strikes, they can shoot Ki Blast with their.
That's actually pretty cool.
It's Sun Soul
Really?
monks. Sun Soul monks, in my opinion, are the coolest. I played a Kenku Sun Soul monk named Sun Gokura, and he was based off of Goku. The dice that I had was orange and blue because of Goku's gi, and he wore Goku's gi, and he was a cartographer, and he lived out in the mountains. He had a pole, or a collapsing pole, and he couldn't fly, so he basically just like ran everywhere. He was stupid fast. But yeah, when you take that, you gain a new attack option, which is the Radiant Sunbolt. You can hit creatures up to 30 feet away. You can use your dexterity modifier to it, or you can add your dexterity modifier to the attack and damage rolls. It's still a D4, just like anything else for monks would be, but it does increase as you level up, like your monk dice.
Oh, it scales?
Yeah, so that's something.
Oh, I didn't know that.
As a monk, you're like, now you specifically are a little different. So because you're a tabaxi, your claws are already essentially what monk weapons would be. It gives you that D4 plus. But a monk's innate ability for their martial arts, your damage die actually goes up. So when you reach level 5, your martial arts die goes to a D6. When you reach level 11, it goes to a D8, and when you reach level 17, it goes to a D10. So your unarmed strikes are always increasing based on your level, sort of like a cantrip.
Okay.
But the Sun Soul monk, like I said, they can shoot those Ki Blasts from up to 30 feet away, and then they also get a really awesome ability where they can essentially cast Burning Hands, which in my opinion was always Tri-Beam. That's how I would always play it. And then they have Searing Sunburst, which is a Spirit Bomb. And then they have Sun Shield. And tell me if this isn't just going Super Saiyan. You become wreathed in a luminous magical aura. You shed bright light for 30 feet and dim light for an additional 30. You can extinguish or restore the light as a bonus action. If a creature hits you with a melee attack while the light shines, you can use your reaction to deal radiant damage to the creature equal to 5 plus your wisdom modifier. So literally you're just powering up, you're glowing like a Super Saiyan, and if somebody punches you, they're getting burnt. Love it.
Yeah, that's actually really dope.
All right.
That's so cool.
I can see Michelle's. Hey, okay. Cool. So we will get started. So like I was saying, we last session, sorry, let me switch back to, there we go. So last session, Shaylin woke up early, and while she was waiting for everyone else to wake up, as elves often do, she heard a rumor that sort of piqued her interest that there was a dragon sighting further out to the west. She heard this rumor out to the west. Cedric was the first one that woke up, and when Shaylin told him about this, he agreed that he would go with her out to investigate this and look into the matter to see what the situation was and to make sure that she didn't do anything, without the full party. So the two of them went out to investigate that, and while that was going on, Zash, Vanadar, and Iluna, they went around Phandalin for a little bit. They went up and talked to Elmar Barthen in order to get Iluna a couple supplies. And while there, Elmar actually offered to give a discount on a component pouch if they would head out west to this flour mill and bring back some of the flour for them. From here, the party headed down and talked to Adabra Gwyn. Iluna wanted to talk to her about some potion ingredients, and along the way, the group, when they were heading further south to the location known as Nomengard, they were going through picking up some ingredients that Iluna is looking for some different potions and concoctions that she is trying to create. When they got there, they encountered some of the mycenoids or myconoids that protect the various mushrooms of Nomengard. I'm just going to go through this pretty quickly. They met a few gnomes hard at work in the kitchen. Were almost shot by a crazy gnome piloting a multi-mounted heavy crossbow contraption. Met some of the gnome guards who told them about a shapeshifter and the issue with the kings. They passed a deadly trap utilizing Iluna's face step ability. Speaking of which, if you guys didn't already, we already went with inspiration, yeah. You talked to Fibblestib and Dabbledob about the shapeshifter and the kings, and you offered to help with the shapeshifter in exchange for a few items that might help deal with the dragon. You went and you found the mimic and killed him, who was disguised as a barrel, and then you were able to convince King Korbaz that you killed the mimic and got him to release King Nurkly. The party was handsomely rewarded with a variety of items, such as the Wand of Pyrotechnics, the Hat of Wizardry, a clockwork amulet, and a Pole of Collapsing. In addition to this, the party was also given 3 of each of the colored mushrooms, 3 wineskins, 3 loaves of bread, and a single vial of red oil. After this, the party decided to rest a bit before heading west to the Dwarven excavation site to inform the excavators about the dragon sightings in the area. So, that is where we're going to be just starting in. I'm going to be bringing Cedric and Shaylin in the morning, but before that, so the 3 of you make your way west across the mountains. As you do, you eventually come to an opening that you're following this map for, and you can see that. Ooh, didn't like that work. You can see that there is a pathway that leads into the mountain. So the canyon, as you're going in, it has rocky walls that rise to a height of about 80 feet. You can see on either side. At the end of the canyon, a 20-foot high wall of black stone with a broken gate has a broken gate carved into it. One of the stone doors is hanging precariously by a hinge, and the other door is in the shadow of a great mountain, which at this point, no shadow, it's nighttime. But it lies a ruined settlement, and all is quiet. So the 3 of you quietly make your way in, and as you do, you see that if I had this set up correctly, I would already have them loaded in.
Also, before we get too far into it, I think my brother and Michelle need to do the extension for the roles.
Oh, yes.
I tried, Steve, but I don't use Google Chrome. Is there any other way to use that?
What browser do you use?
Firefox?
I will look that up. I'm pretty sure there is a way to do it.
I tried looking. I didn't see anything.
All right, give me 1 second.
I just don't want us to get into a battle or something and then get stopped. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick as we do that.
Commoner. Ignore the fact that they have lady faces. They are dwarves. Plus.
It's a pretty good looking dwarves.
Those are some pretty handsome dwarves, if I do say so myself. Shoot. No. You said you use Firefox, right?
Yeah. It'll probably just be easier for me to use Chrome, huh?
There you go. Yeah, boy. Now I don't know the full details of it. I don't use it. I imagine that it's the same thing, that you just have to go into the extension details and put in the web address that I sent out earlier.
Do I gotta refresh anything?
I imagine you might have to refresh the Encounter Plus page as well as your character sheet. Now,
Okay.
once you do that, you should be able to go in and when you click one of your things, it should send it over to Encounter Plus.
Okay, I'll do a test.
All right. Let me know whenever you do the test so I can take a look at it. There you go.
I see it.
Yeah.
Nice. Let me
Yeah,
set it up for Michelle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. The guy, Encounter Plus, actually, this is not a feature the guy who makes Encounter Plus has developed. The developer's name is Juraj. There's a guy on his Discord named RR George who has helped him so much, and these two extensions were actually built by him. And that's what I had to look up right now, because I remember reaching out to the community saying, does anyone know if there's a plan for something like Beyond 20 implemented with Encounter Plus? He goes, you mean like this? And sent me a thing to this thing that he made. And I'm like, yes, exactly like that. And I put, I said this thing where it's like a guy's like, I love you. My God, does that help so much? All right. So
Oops.
the three of you head into this area. It's late in the evening, and you can see that there are two dwarves sitting around a fire talking with one another. As you approach, they turn back and they see you. Or let me ask you this: are you guys being stealthy walking up, or are you just like heading up there? You know, how are the three of you handling this?
Well, based on how in my mind we were just. Go ahead.
No, we can see the dwarves and we don't know if they can see us.
Well, you can see the dwarves as you're walking up. You can see the fire that they sort of have built around this small little camp area that's right outside what looks like the entrance to the temple. So what you see in red there is just outside of this temple. They have a small little camp area set up. And you can see that as you're walking up.
I would say we're going pretty stealthily based on how we were greeted by the gnomes for the first time us
Yeah.
going there.
What do we know about dwarves anyhow?
I mean, you can roll a history check if you want to see what you know.
I mean, I know I would know a ton.
Yeah, Zash is
So-
gonna know.
Yeah.
Zash is gonna know a bit.
I think Vanadar would too. No?
Vanadar would. Vanadar, you would know a lot of the Eberron dwarves, for sure.
So do you want everyone rolling?
I'll have Iluna roll.
Okay.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I'm asking, hey guys, what do we know about dwarves? And you might tell me some things, but I can tell you.
Can I ask
After
Lucas,
I
are there
roll,
backs
yeah.
to us?
So I'm basically gonna have you guys like right back here, where you can just start to see them.
Okay.
And that's the thing. Like, you can see that they're just going about their business. They're cooking up some dinner. You know, you can hear them talking in Dwarvish, and I know I know you guys, Zash and Vanadar, I know you guys know Dwarvish. So you can hear them talking about, you know, getting further into the temple, what to do about the creatures in there, you know, what might be beyond where they've already explored, but you can't really definitively say, you know, 100% everything that they're making out just because you are a little bit further back. As
Did
for
we know the words? That's pretty far away, but it's good. We're good.
what you know about dwarves, Zash and Vanadar, is that dwarves are mostly proud, stubborn folk. They are sort of innately drawn to the earth to want to excavate it and they want to dig. So they have this natural propensity to just drive themselves into the earth and, you know, create, you know, find out and explore and salvage. You know, you also know that they are celebrated drinkers, you know, as more of a stereotypical aspect of them. But that is definitely something that you guys know. And they can, like I said, they can be stubborn. They can also be a little, you know, mouthy at times. That's what I'll give the two of you. So if you want to relay that to Iluna.
So Iluna, they're really proud, can be stubborn. They might come off as offensive, but they probably don't mean to be. That's just kind of how they are. And they really like the dirt. And to drink.
That pretty much sums it up. We probably want to make it pretty clear
We
as
should
soon
be
as.
cautious with them then, a little bit.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking not sneak up on them, because that might come off as, you know, like we're trying to attack them. I think maybe call out to them from a distance and just announce who we are and why we're here.
Am I wrong to know? I to see what Aluna knows, because on her travels, I can't imagine her not coming across any dwarves. But
Sure, go ahead and roll your history check.
what? It's got a +0.
Oh, yeah, you have a +0 to intelligence. Okay,
It's not
so yeah,
bad.
I mean, you more or less know about the same as what Zash and Vanadar do. You've met a couple dwarves in the past, you know, through your travels. Some of them you've met either along the pathways that you've been going, where they've also been traveling, you know, spreading wares and selling, you know, like mining and stuff like that. And then you've also seen some in taverns, you know, celebrating and drinking for the evening. So, but you don't really have anything beyond what Zash and Vanadar have just, you know, confirmed for you.
No direct information, really.
No, nothing special. I mean, you obviously would not know anything about these two that would give you any more guidance.
So, are we calling out to them from back here, or?
Yeah, in like free action then.
Oh yeah, you guys are, you know, you're not in initiative or anything, so.
Well, we can approach a little more and then call out to them, like, as we're approaching.
Okay. Yeah, so as the three of you are heading up, like I said, you can see that they're just sort of sitting there eating some rations for the day, keeping an eye on the temple entrance, and as you start walking up, I'm gonna change their names in here. Right. Edit. Beforehand. As you're getting closer, Zash and Vanadar, you can overhear them. Like I said, they were already talking before, but as you're getting closer, you can hear them. The one is, you know, look, we have to get in there. We have to get this place cleared out. I mean, I don't care if they're in there tomorrow. I want to keep pushing. And that one says, I get that point. I do. But wait, no, I'm not. That's not dwarven voice. No, we'll do. The one says, "All right, look. Tomorrow we're going in there. We're going to get these. We're gonna kill those things if they come after us. We need to keep going." The other one says, "Right, but I understand that, but I don't want to die in pursuit of this." As you get closer, they hear you walking up, and they turn to you. And how do you guys react?
Can we greet
Who?
them in Dwarvish? Or can we just understand
They
Joris?
did.
To answer Tony's question, if you know Dwarvish, that's one of your languages. You can speak it, read it, write it.
Okay.
And what did you say, Stacy?
Aluna has no idea what they're saying, but those two, Zash and Vandard can.
Yes, they know Dwarvish. So.
And then, guys, are you gonna tell me what they're saying, or are you just gonna keep me?
I'll
Are they? Happy to take the lead since you understand what they're saying.
I'll
At least
whisper translate to Iluna while Vanadar talks to him. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna holler out hello in Dwarvish.
Hey, what? You see the one, he sort of stands up, has a pickaxe sitting next to him, sort of has his hand like resting on. He goes, "What do you want?"
Again in Dwarvish, I'm gonna be, hi, we're on a quest from Phandalin, and we were told to come see how you guys were doing with the dragon sightings that's been around the area.
You see they both give like each other a bit of a, questionable look, and the one that's still sitting down says, "Dragon? What dragon?" Looks over. Norbus, what? Is there a dragon around here? And the other one looks down. He says, I doubt it. Just let him talk." Says,
would I have heard that? What they were saying to each other? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell them that people have basically been turned into popsicles from a white dragon that is breathing cold magic, and that we're a group of travelers trying to slay it. And we've come here to see if they have any more information or to make sure that everyone there is safe.
And the one off to your left says, "Oh, well, that's very kind of you. Why don't you have a seat? Then, if that's the case. Thanks for telling us about that." And he looks over at the other one and says, "You see, I knew we should have gone back to town more often. We would have heard about this already." And the other one, the one to your right, says, "I don't care. We don't need to go back. We have food, we have water, we have camp. We don't need to go back every couple days. We would have heard about it anyway. If things are getting frozen out there, it's not coming in here. All right, get off my back." He says, "Well," the other one says, "You know what? If maybe we just listened to some of my ideas every now and again, maybe we wouldn't be in this case trying to dig out an old dilapidated temple that means nothing." And they just sort of begin bickering to one another.
So,
so do the three of you sit down around the fire?
Vanador does. I can't speak for them, but
I'll follow, and I'll reach into the party bag and I'll grab out one of the canteens of wine, and I'll ask them, would you guys mind telling us what you're doing here and trade for some good wine?
And he goes, "What kind of wine?"
Well, it's the wine made from the mushrooms over by the Gnoming Guard. I got it fresh from the gnomes themselves. This is really, really, really good stuff.
"Well, if that's the case, then yes, please sit."
By the way, that was all in Dwarvish.
Yes. Yes, there is I now put a campfire on the screen. Just so we can sort of expedite everything, you spend the evening drinking and talking to the dwarves. You find out from them that they came down here a few months ago. That they were looking for gold in the mountains, and that they decided to explore this nearby cave. And they found evidence of an ancient dwarven settlement that was buried by an avalanche. So they've been spending a number of months here trying to clear out the rubble and scouring the ruins for anything that they can find. But in their process, and while they haven't found anything of value in the ruins that you already walked through, obviously what you can see behind here is that there is a temple that is carved into the mountain. And Zash and Vanadar, you actually recognize the two statues where those stars are on the map, of being that of Abathor, the dwarven god of greed. So that is actually, you know that Abathor is actually an evil dwarven god. So they, explain to you that they've been trying to get further in, but there are these two, or sorry, they say, yeah, fine. They say that there are these two creatures that are in the temple area that are stopping them from going deeper in. And through this conversation, Dazzlin, they explain their names are Dazzlin and Norbis, but they actually offer to the two of you that if you are to go in there, once you've rested up for the night, and if you can kill them, that they would let you, excavate this place, and if there's anything in there of value, that you could take anything you wanted.
From the conversation, does the dwarves know that those two statues are of an evil dwarven god?
They do. Yeah,
Okay.
they actually, like, when during the conversation, it was more like, oh yeah, when we started getting back to this area, we were digging away and we saw these statues. We knew Abathor, he's that the greed god, and they say that they used to do like bloodstone rituals and stuff. So yeah, they are aware of it. So, because dwarves.
Is Luna completely mute this whole time, or is she? Because I was gonna say she introduces herself and asks them to speak in common.
No.
Or is this
wait, who are you talking about?
Luna doesn't know Dwarvish.
Oh, they start talking in common after. They start talking in common.
Yeah, we skipped over that. I was trying to make sure if she's in the loop or being told.
Oh yeah. That's the thing. Vanadar even said that he would whisper translate everything to you as well.
It was Zash.
But when you're drinking, that kind of goes to the side.
Yeah, no, like I said, they're everything that they sort of explain to you is being explained in common. This way everybody knows what it is.
Okay.
Can either of them describe the enemies inside a little? Yeah, to any more detail? Like, what did they look like?
Oh, well, they're these squishy, giant jelly creatures.
Oh
God. I don't know too much about them, but that's all I know. And that's pretty much all they tell you about them.
Okay.
Have we ever heard of squishy jelly creatures that we might guess what they are? And none of us.
I know what it is, but I don't know if Zash knows what it is.
Right. So roll me a.
As a player, I'm pretty sure I know what they are, but roll me a history check.
Is that
See
for all of
who?
us?
Anybody that wants to know if you know what these things are.
Oh, hell yeah. Jesus Christ.
Vanadar, you have no clue. Like jelly creatures? Like jam? Like
Like jelly
raspberry?
shots?
Yeah.
Like Smuckers? Like...
Luna, you've maybe heard about these things. You've never seen them. You've probably heard about them just in travels from people that like go cave dwelling and that go into dungeons and stuff. But as one of like the first times of really like digging into a place that might have these kind of dangerous creatures, you don't know too much. Sash, you've heard tale of jellies, and that you know that one of the things about them is that they can like sort of divide, that attacking them with you don't know exactly what does it, but you know that sometimes attacking them like makes them split apart into multiple creatures that can then reassemble or go after you separately.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
So, but yeah, after that, you all rest for the night. Vanadar, I will address your prayer. So, as you are praying, you're in this dwarven ruin area right outside a dwarven temple, and as you're praying to your god Moradin, you have almost this sensation when you wake up, like you think to yourself, you don't really like when you pray to Moradin, obviously you're not getting, it's not calling up
Yeah.
your patron and saying like, yo, I want to talk, but you just have this overall sense of like you came here looking for understanding with the dwarven gods. You came here looking for a better understanding with Moradin, with your quarry, and something resonates with you a little bit in the back of your head from what Dazzlin and Norbis said the night before, of going in there and whatever you want to take, take it. You sort of think to yourself, well, okay, yeah, if there's relics in there, then I can probably take them to study them, or I can take them to sell them. This might help me get a little bit closer to what I want to do. And you just sort of have a little bit of this revelation.
Okay.
So, the next morning, as the group here is waking up, you actually are awoken from the sight and sound of Cedric and Shaylin making their way in. Now, Cedric and Shaylin, the day before, you ventured out west of Phandalin. You traveled through more of the forests and wilds. You saw a couple creatures out there, and you actually passed a flour mill on your way that was right next to a small little creek. You didn't really see anybody around it, and you continued on until you found you found just like a small little village, just like small little farming settlement. You asked them about dragon sightings, and they informed the two of you that there was a dragon spotted there about a day prior, and it headed north, like sort of along the high road leading up towards Neverwinter. Shaylin, you were a little bit more, wanting to keep going to see if maybe you could continue finding anything about it. But based on Cedric's advice, he mentioned about, not venturing off without everyone else, because the two of you would not be able to handle a dragon if you did find it on your own. So with that, the two of you returned back to Phandalin. after about a day's travel, and you heard from Tobin Stonehill, the owner of the Stonehill Inn. He informed you that the rest of your group had headed south, and that they were heading towards the Nomengard settlement out in the mountains. The two of you figured that, by the time that you would have gone down there, they, you got there sort of like late in the evening, and you actually went in and talked with some of the gnomes that were in there, and they told you about the three that had arrived, and that they were heading off to the west towards the dwarven excavation site. And so the two of you headed there early in the morning, trying to get a start on everything. So everyone would be well rested at this point, and so you have just arrived right as the sun was coming out outside. So yeah, you guys have free action.
See, Shaylin, I told you we saw smoke last night. Here's our friends.
Well, good morning to you guys too. Where'd you guys go? I think she's muted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think her mic is muted.
Your headset's
No.
Nope.
No.
not. Your headset's not on.
Oh no! Hey, welcome back. I thought I could have heard her earlier.
So, yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Need a new headset, I guess.
I didn't do anything.
I know, but I was pressing the button on and off and it wasn't doing anything.
So yeah, like I said, you guys have free action. Go ahead and however you want to do this.
So, did you guys see anything nice out west?
Well, Shaylin, have we seen anything nice out west?
No, nothing nice. The dragon sighting, we just missed it.
Do they know which way it went?
They said it went north.
Is it the same dragon that we're all looking for, or?
I don't know.
It's a good question, man. I don't know. But now that we're all together, maybe we can start digging into it more.
As you're saying this, the two dwarves are sitting up. They're eating. They're saying, one says, "Wait, the dragon that you're looking, is there more than one dragon?" And the other one says, "Wait, there's two? I thought there was just one."
There's a fire-breathing one also. It burnt my forest.
Oh, so there are two.
Confirmed.
And
There are now.
the one dwarf, Norbis, or sorry, no, Daslin looks over at Norbis and says, "You know what? No, I'm done. Once they go in and they clear that out, I give us a day. Give us a day. I'll give you a day. You go in, get whatever you want, and then we're getting the hell out of here."
I think that's a smart decision. You don't want to be stuck in a cave if a dragon attacks.
And you actually see Norbis, the gruffer one. He says, "Look, I mean, come on. Actually, think about it. If you all clear this out, and you all seem like very capable warriors, and I give you all the credit in the world for that. If you can clear this place out, depending on how much room is in there, we can just set up our camp in there, and then if something happens, bada bing, bada boom, we're already in here. As long as the thing doesn't try getting in here, which that would be terrifying."
So just to catch Cedric and Shaylin up, they're claiming that there are two jelly-like cube monsters in the temple, preventing them from clearing it out. And they kind of want us to go do their dirty work for them.
That's all
You
you heard
too
that was in there?
heard of these jelly creatures before.
Yeah, like, I have kind of an idea that when They're hit, they split. Don't really know why they split or what causes them to split, but they can multiply. I don't know if it makes them stronger or weaker. I just know that they multiply when hit.
If the two of you, Shaylin and Cedric, want to roll history checks to see if you know what these things are, you can go ahead and do that.
Did that come across?
It
Yeah.
did.
Hey, you rolled the same thing I did. Very nice. Oh,
Jelly? Like
Smuckers.
I
Smuckers?
prefer jam.
Yeah. Like you're sort of thinking like, yeah, I mean, jelly's good, but you know, butter and honey is even better.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. Come on. So yeah, with that, as you're discussing this, Dazzlin and Norbis, they actually, you know, as they're going through their supplies, you know, looking for anything that might help you, they say, well, Norbis, or sorry, Dazzlin says, well, if you're going in there, I'm gonna give you this. So he hands out a stone, and I'm going to give it to Vanadar. He says, this is a sending stone. It can be used to. I have one here. If something happens, you can hold onto the stone and speak into it, and I will be able to hear you. So if you need help with anything, you can call us, and we might be able to help.
Might.
Like,
We're
Okay.
in walkie-talkies.
Coffee.
As my other group calls them, Rocky Talkies.
Hell yeah.
God.
So yes, they can be upgraded into. So right now, the sending stones only have one use until dawn, but they can be upgraded to turn them into permanent Rocky Talkies. So
Now,
Rocky Talkies.
if we get into combat with these things, and if I call for help, is that an action, a bonus action?
out of game, it's an.
Oh, okay. I
In-game,
assumed.
Well,
you know, you have to basically think of it this way: you're going ham on some jellies, like trying to slash at them or pound them, and things are looking bad. You're calling in, so like you're having to stop what you're doing, like mayday, mayday, SOS kind of a situation.
That makes sense. Okay.
So you're saying yes, it is action.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right.
So what do you guys think? You think we could take out these jellies?
I mean, I'm riding the high off of our last two things. I just had a mimic almost bite my arm off. I say let's go fuck this stuff up.
I don't know how much my sword's gonna do against these jellies.
It's very true.
We can
Hey,
always
I'm gonna
use
be
some
slapping
of
them,
that
so.
jelly stamp.
No. Anything between two pieces of bread is a
You
sandwich.
guys have bread.
Yeah. You got loaves of bread.
Okay,
You
so
guys actually manually add that to your backpack.
it's in the party's inventory.
Yeah, it's more. Yeah, it's more of the party inventory.
Oh, do we want to see if maybe, because we still have the wand of pyrotechnics, right?
You have
Yeah.
everything that you got from the notes.
So I have the helmet. Aluna has the amulet. Do we want to see if maybe Cedric or Shaylin want the other things?
I grabbed the pole.
Okay, so we just have the wand.
Can you guys
Yeah.
describe these at all to us?
So we have a 10-foot collapsible pole.
I don't want that.
That's literally it. We have a clockwork necklace, which we gave to Iluna, which basically what it does is, I'm assuming once per long rest, she can just choose to forego a d20 roll, and it just gives her a flat 10. And then I would assume it adds her modifier, her hit modifier, which I think she has the highest out of all of us with a +7.
Well,
Me-
I mean, it depends on what she would use it for. So it's just
Oh, so
instead,
okay.
yeah, instead of a when you make a, or no, I'm sorry, it is an attack roll. No, I'm sorry, you're right. Yeah, you can forego the d20 to make it a 10, and then yeah, you would obviously add your normal stuff.
Okay, and then we have a hat of wizardry, which is mostly just for wizards. Like, in order to even use it, a wizard needs to attune to it. So I'm just kind of holding on to it for now. But since none of us are wizards, and
That's actually one thing I wanted to ask you, Lucas, because could he make an Arcana check and get the benefits of it, or do you literally it's only available to wizards?
I have made an exception in the past. I would, if you want to know this, roll an Arcana check, because I have a way that it can work.
Mm-hmm.
But if Sash wants to know, he would have to do an Arcana check.
Okay. Oof. Nope. I got an 8.
Yeah. You think maybe, like, why does it have to be a wizard? Why is it just a wizard's hat? Couldn't it be a sorcerer? Couldn't it be a warlock, a paladin, a cleric? It's spell casting. What's the difference? You're just you're a monk. You use ki. It's like magic.
I just punched shit.
Yeah.
I'd rather not risk it blowing my brains off. So I'm just gonna hold on to it. Maybe use it for like bartering down the line.
Yeah.
If we can't use it to kill the dragon. And I think that was it. With just the 4 items is what we got.
Wait.
We
we're
have the
killing
Wand of
dragon?
Pyrotechnics, too, which makes harmless multicolored light up to 60 feet. Which might not be bad for you, Cedric, since you don't have night or dark vision. In case you get into a situation where you need to be able to, you need
I'm
light
alone
right
in the
away.
dark all by myself.
Yeah, the mansters are coming to get you. So if you want that, I could give that to you. And that's it. Lucas, did we keep the Wand of Detect Magic? Or did we have to give that back?
Even or odd?
Even.
Okay, even.
Nope.
Ooh. So we still have
Oh, wait,
it?
you said even? You
Yeah.
said even?
Yeah.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
you do. Sorry.
Okay,
we
so
still have that.
so that's in my inventory because I'm the one who had it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, wait,
Yeah.
hold on. Let me add that.
You have to
I don't know if
physically add
that's,
it, right?
I don't know if that's actually an item.
There's
think
Wand
you
of
just
Magic
create one.
Detection.
Yeah. Okay, then that's it.
It has 3 charges.
And we already burned one.
Yeah,
so
cool. Okay.
Just make sure you mark that we've already burned one charge.
Well, keep in mind, it regains 1d3 expended charges at dawn, so it would be charged again.
It would have reset now.
What's that, Stacy?
I just agreed with Lucas.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I didn't even know there were D3s. So I don't have. Okay.
D6 divide by 2.
Okay, so regardless, we're at max charges.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I added that to my inventory.
Yep.
So, did you guys want to go in and check this stuff out?
Alright. I'm all for it.
Yeah? Alright, so we're gonna head in then.
Just be cautious.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
should we, like, go in one
Hey,
at a
Luna.
time, or what?
That's
Luna,
what I
you
wanna
have
know.
really good... Oh, mine... Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and... I'm gonna stealth ahead.
So
And-
here's what I want.
Uh-oh.
Lucas. Here's what I'm gonna.
Right? Yeah, I figure I can go ahead and kind of scout since I'm really stealthy.
Oh. Okay, so before Zash does anything, I'm gonna tap him and cast Guidance.
You're always touching party.
What I want to know is, what is the marching order when everyone's going in? So who's at the front? Who's at the back? Are you going double wide? Are you going single file? What's the case?
Why would he be asking us that?
I'm back.
Always
Let's just
need
skip through the
marching
front door.
orders.
I feel like
I'm gonna be probably like 20 or 30 yards ahead of them, just like stealthing, being super
I'll
sneaky
stay
to just
Like 10
make
feet
sure.
behind you, Zash.
Okay.
and then I'll be behind Cedric.
How is my stealth in comparison I've got plus
He's a cat.
for
So.
the lock.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no, I know
I'm at
Yeah.
plus
the best
5.
person.
That works.
I'm at a plus 3.
because you have a high dexterity. Whereas, like I said that one day, you and Zash both are very naturally dexterous characters. It's just Zash is more specialized in stealth, whereas most of your specialties are about medicine, nature, survival, and stuff like that. So when it comes to stealthing, you could choose to go in there with him, but if he's recommending, that's up to you guys. If Zash is making this call that he's going in first.
Do you want to stealth up front with me, Iluna, or no? I figured you'd kind of want to be in the back since you're like an archer and stuff, but if you want to stealth ahead with me, you can. It's up to you.
So I can hang back. Maybe I can be stealthy later.
Okay. I mean, like, if you want to, like, stealth kind of behind the party and make sure, like, nothing sneaks up on us, you could definitely do that, too.
The guard. I've never seen a jelly before, so I guess we'll need some. I don't even know what I was gonna say. Some backup. It's not backup. What does the person at the back do?
Covers
Keep
the
an eye on-
flank.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
really.
the covering.
It's really important.
It is. All right, Zash, go ahead and roll a stealth check as you're moving in.
With a D4 advantage because of guidance?
Did you,
No.
you guided me?
Yeah,
Guidance would give him a D4.
A D4.
It would, yeah, there would be no advantage.
So it's 16.
Okay. So.
It's the
God,
first
that
time.
Was so close. It was so close to being an 18.
That
And
is
then it rolled over.
the first time guidance has actually done anything in our sessions.
So you slowly begin to make your way forward. As you do, you come to an opening off to your left, where you can see that there is a. It almost seemed like there was a secret door there. Something where the room beyond it is nothing but rubble as you glance into it. But you can see that like this door here just looked like it almost looked like a hinge on the surrounding stonework. If you had just walked by it, you would have never noticed anything. As you continue pushing through these doors, you peer into this large temple area. You can see that there are 4 pillars in here, and this is where Dazzlin and Norbis told you that that this is as far as they made it in.
Oh, I didn't get very far.
Yeah, no. So with that, you might assume that that is maybe the room where the jellies are that they warned you about.
Okay, can I try something? I'm assuming it's dark in here.
It is dark in here. So Cedric and Vanadar, this is just to show you guys what you see. That is what you see in that room that no one else sees. You can literally see directly in front of you.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
So as Zash is going in, I'm going to cast light on one of my crossbow bolts.
Okay.
And shoot it into the room.
Oh, interesting. I like that idea. Okay.
I don't know if I have to make any...
How long does that light last?
I think it's an hour.
It is an hour. And it's a 20-foot... It sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius and then dim light for an additional 20 feet. And it says I can make it colored any way I want. I just want red.
You didn't just shoot Zash, did you?
I'm hoping not.
That's like the theme of this whole campaign so far. Every episode, I've almost been shot by a bow and arrow.
Keep excellently drawing something. All right. Yeah. You shoot this thing into the wall back here, and you begin to light it up. What is? It's 20 foot, 40 foot.
It's It's 20-foot bright light and then 20 additional feet in dim light.
Can you see that? There we go.
Hey, cool.
Hey, is that your little bolt?
I like the shadows on the poles.
Yeah. It's cool.
The giant bolt.
This is, yeah, it's a crossbow bolt.
Yeah, so that is basically what Cedric and Vanadar, just so you guys can understand what you're seeing. That's pretty much what the two of you can see inside there. You can see those shadows. You can see the outline of these giant, columns, and you can see the temple altar at the front. Apparently there is a way to like differentiate who is who in Encounter Plus, but I'm gonna figure that out for next time.
You mean to where it changes on every person's turn?
Where I could designate you as Cedric, so that you can only see what Cedric can see,
Oh,
but
that's
you would
crazy.
That'd
see where everyone
That'd be
else
really
is.
cool.
Because that's what you can do in Roll20. You can segment, you can separate everyone to only see what that person can see. Yeah, so Zash, what you see is from over your shoulder, like you're looking in here, you're peering around. It looks fairly normal to you. You have this night vision, most of it's grayscale, but you can see, you can see the walls out to here. You can see the shrine, the temple altar. But all of a sudden, this like glowing red arrow this glowing red bolt just right up into the wall on the far side, and the room is lit up like a Christmas tree.
Immediately, Zash turns around and is like, dude, what the fuck?
I made sure I didn't hit you. It's fine.
You grazed my ear!
It's
I don't know
fine.
if he actually did, but I'm gonna let him believe that he did. Alright, so I'm gonna kind of just scout around the room.
Well, hold on a second, because as you say that, as you're turned around, like sort of berating Vanadar, blocking the light coming down from the ceiling, you see. Oh, it didn't save my hidden thing. What the hell? Why aren't they? Oh, this is so anticlimactic.
They're coming down.
They're
Hang on a
coming down.
minute.
It's so. Damn, hold on.
They're just a little stuck. It's okay.
They're stuck up there. Give them just a second. They're a little shy.
They're just waiting for the music to kick on.
Yeah, they're waiting for their cue. They're very theatrical.
They got a little confused by the bright. Oh my god.
Oh, shit.
They're humongous.
They're huge.
Watch out, Zach.
So the four of you,
Out of there.
the four of you from like those Shaylin and Iluna, you guys can just like see into the room, and it's a little bit of grayscale. You see this like mass just forming down from the ceiling behind him. Vanadar and Cedric, the shadow of the light coming from that bolt is just blocked by this, and Zash is now in the shadow of this creature. And Zash, from over your shoulder, you just hear this as it's coming down. Roll initiative.
I think Zash is about to get sticky.
Oh, God. That's something you don't ever want to hear.
I never, what a terrible day to have ears. Zash is getting sticky.
I mean, listen, he was stripping last session, so.
I know, I heard about that. I missed it.
That did
Meow.
happen. Oh God.
I will say, I definitely thought it was going to be a different monster. I thought it was going to be gelatinous cubes.
So did I.
I was really worried.
Are definitely a thing. All right, just waiting on Cedric and Shaylin for their initiative rolls.
I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
Hey, I finally got a decent initiative roll.
Yeah. Cedric got a little bit better.
I don't see it. Where
It's
is
at the
it?
top. Right
I forget.
Top,
where it says
top
plus
middle
Oh.
right.
Got it.
Oof.
You're going last.
She's probably going after the monsters.
Funny enough, she's not because the jellies.
Oh,
5.
Nice.
damn.
So that is going to be Cedric's turn.
Oh man.
I forgot now that we have like a full party. I need to keep track of people's health again.
Oh, you don't have to keep track of it.
I mean, I
got if you want to, be my guest.
yeah, I feel like I should.
You're a man of your own volition. I keep track of it on my own side.
What do you guys think? For
I think plus help. I don't want to get sticky.
yeah, at the very least, I'll move up to. Can I move myself?
Hey Lucas,
Yeah, you keep your character. What's up?
just to save me some time, can you give me everyone's max HP totals, just so I don't have to?
You can do it off of D&D.
I know, I don't.
Integrate it into your Twitch TV.
Oh, I
Cedric,
do. Wait, sorry, I do. I could just do that. I'm sorry.
Okay, man. All right, Cedric, you moved up.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
You're fighting 2 mucks.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's the reality of it. Like, ochre jellies are basically mucks and grimers.
I think I'm just gonna. That's all I'm gonna do.
You're not going to attack?
No. Not have based off your feedback, Sash, that they split or whatnot. I want to see what my companions come up with before I check.
Cedric
Zach,
did what?
what's up? What's up, Stacy?
What did he do? Just
He
I just
moved
moved up just to be another target.
Okay.
closer.
So I think like instinctively with them like falling from the ceiling, I would attack them.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna hit him twice. The one that's closest to me right there.
Yep.
It's a 12.
That hits.
Okay.
That just
5.
falls out.
Yeah, man.
They fell down right in front of him. What would you do?
Yeah. Let's see. Bonus. Ooh, another 12. Lucky. And another 5 points of damage.
Okay.
Wait, so you rolled to see if you hit, and then you rolled for damage twice?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he rolled 2 attacks because he has a claw attack and then he has a bonus action for another claw attack. So you can okay. 1 second.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
I mean, like,
wait,
we
wait,
know
sorry.
that these things aren't friendly. 'Cause,
Wait.
like, that was the whole point of them asking us to go in here.
Okay,
Was to deal with them.
claws are slashing damage, correct?
Yes.
Okay, then first attack, I'm gonna use my reaction to cast Exasperate,
Okay.
which is you must
Okay.
succeed on a Constitution saving throw. But it doesn't tell me what.
Save?
Yeah, it doesn't tell me what it's going up against.
When you must succeed. Yeah, so it needs to make a con save against yours, which it fails.
Okay. So that it takes
So-
2d4 necrotic damage. At the beginning.
of each of its turns.
Yeah, and then you could attempt the saving throw again at the end of each of your turns.
So, what you actually see happen though is Zash goes up and like Zash turns around very quickly and sees this, and as this thing's like halfway down the ceiling, he gets 2 good slashes into the center of it, and it splits into 2.
Oh shit.
Look what you did.
Two of the same size.
2 of the same size. No, sorry. They're actually smaller. I just don't. I used to have tokens for smaller versions, but yeah. So
Okay.
we're just gonna have to do it this way. So
Maybe bludgeoning damage then.
you might think about that in the future. So that and this one. 3 now. Okay.
I mean, so with my attacks, did I see like a core or anything?
No. I will say that, like, as you slashed through this, your hand was just sort of like covered in this goo. As you were slicing through it, and just like you ripped Rate in half, and it just now into 2 blobs, and now they both have formed up and are like aggressively moving towards you. You
Okay.
didn't see anything that, like, okay, this is the thing we need to attack.
Okay.
Vanadar, it is your turn.
Does Ash know if these are necessarily getting weaker when they split?
Does Zash know? Zash doesn't really know much about them. He knows about as much as you do.
Okay.
Okay. I am going to move up to like right here. And then the very first one he attacked, I think is 01. I'll cast Toll the Dead.
Okay. What is that?
It's a wisdom save against 13.
Fails.
Okay, so now, is he missing HP? He has taken damage, so it's a 1d12, correct?
Yes, he is. It is.
Okay.
So it would be a 1d12.
Not bad.
All right. Yeah. That one you can see is now bloody. Basically, you know, you're casting this on it. It sort of shudders a little bit. You see it lose its form for a split second, and then it just comes back up. Iluna.
One's injured and one isn't.
So what you can see is when Zash cut this thing, it split into 2, and you can see that now the 2 smaller ones, the one looks a little bit you know, worse for wear, but the other one, I mean, I guess you don't necessarily know what a healthy jelly looks like to really determine whether or not either one of these is healthy, but there are 2 targets in front of him. Oh shit, I can just do that. Mother trucker. There we go. That makes more
Nice.
sense. Science.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am a little concerned about shooting an arrow. So I have a question.
Okay.
Can I don't know how the whole action and bonus action, which I don't even know how that works.
What?
Can I use Druidcraft to light a flame on the tip of the arrow to shoot it? Or is that too many actions? I want to shoot a flame at it because using a blade apparently will slash it in half.
I like it. I will let you already have an. So here's what I will say. I'll let you have this one. In the future, if you want to do this, you will have to have arrows set aside that have like some cloth with some lightable fluid, possibly the red oil that you got from the gnomes. You know that can be lit on fire and sustain a fire. But I will give you at least one here. In the future, though, you will have to like sort of prep that.
Be my act. action later to prep a couple of arrows?
Well,
Like a
theoretically,
my
theoretically, you would prep that outside of combat. Doing it in
Yeah,
combat
okay.
would take a full action to like sit there, light, pour it, light it, But here's the thing: Druidcraft is a full action. So you're essentially using your action now to light the arrow, and then on your next turn you could shoot it. So that's sort of where the action economy comes into place. You're using a full action to simply light an arrow to, deal that extra fire damage. You can do it. I won't stop you. I'm just letting you know that that's how the action economy will work.
Get was Druidcraft to light the arrow, and then I just stand there.
I mean, you're basically
waiting.
what I imagine is Iluna is taking out that particular arrow, one that you might have had prepared at one time, and it has some oil soaked in it, and you're knocking it into the bow, and you're saying the chant, and all of a sudden it just, whoosh, the tip of it lights on fire, and now you're like prepared to shoot, and you can shoot on your next turn.
Out my flammable arrow and say inflame, and now it's ready to go, but that's the end of my turn then?
Right, because I don't think that you have any applicable bonus action. Yeah, you could phase step, but that would pretty much be it. So, yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm aiming with a flaming arrow.
okay. So Shaylin, it is going to be your turn.
Okay. Not sure how far away I am.
You're about 40
Okay,
feet away.
Not that bad. I'll move up one. I'm gonna use my frostbite.
Okay.
Is there something in your way right in front of you?
Oh damn.
No, it's
Is that the dice I should have used?
What's that? No, you actually. I mean, that's the
How
damage.
did I get on it?
That's the damage, but I actually roll a Constitution saving throw to see if it actually affects it. So, which one are you attacking? 1 or 3?
One.
Okay. So it fails. So it does take the 1d6 cold damage. So that is going to be 1 point of cold damage, and it has disadvantage on the next weapon attack that it makes.
Wow, that's crazy.
Frostbite is good.
That's insane. I didn't know it did that.
Okay. Speaking of which, it is.
Yeah, so he has to take 2d4 necrotic damage.
2d4.
Do I do that, or do you do that?
If you would like to, be my guest.
Oh, sure, I'll do it. I think I could, I could just click it. There you go.
Okay. So yeah, you see him just like basically this one, there's like a frost rime forming over him, and he's like, it's like just like trying to like shake it off, and then all of a sudden, as it goes to start to move, you just see it like quiver a little bit. Exacerbate. That is a what kind of save is that again?
At the end of your turn is.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It's a Constitution.
Yeah.
Okay. So the jelly is going to attack Cedric, the one that is right in front of him. That's a 19 to hit.
That's disadvantage, correct?
Yes, that is. Good call.
Good job, Michelle.
So that's a 15, so that misses then.
Yay.
So the
Thanks, Shayla.
You're welcome.
disadvantage saved you.
That's
And
for frostbite.
Yeah.
that was because of frostbite. Yep, had disadvantage.
And that was attacking Cedric?
Correct. Yeah, the one that's
Okay,
right in
I'm-
front of Cedric.
That's gonna pop my sentinel.
Yeah.
Um,
Feats.
so I feel like after seeing that I literally cut it in half and it formed 2 blobs, I'm just gonna do regular unarmed strikes now.
You're gonna punch it.
I'm punching it. No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
I missed.
It basically what this looks like is it's like because it was covered in frost and because it had this like necrotic energy sort of enveloping it, you see this like pseudopod beginning to stretch out from it, and it's going to hit Cedric, but it's so slow that Cedric sort of just leans back and it misses, and like you're just in this mindset now, and you go to punch it really fast and just right over it, you know, like trying to be quick around a sloth.
You get style points.
You do.
I was
Cedric,
way too hyped.
Cedric, you
What?
hear coming down from the ceiling, off to your right, another jelly creature, as it makes its way over into this small little crevice, and it is going to wallop you, and it misses as well. Man, your AC. I'm gonna have a hard time fighting that.
Does the O1 want to make the Constitution save at the end of this?
Oh yes. Good call. Thank you.
See, I never let you forget those.
It fails.
Okay.
I appreciate that because I will forget. All right. And so the third one is going to go after Sash, who is right in front of him. Pretty sure that hits.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. So Sash, you. This thing.
Oh, shit.
Takes this blob out of its body. This is the one that hasn't. It's only been cut in half, and it just like right across your face. This ichor that's covering its body begins to burn at you, and you take 2
God.
acid damage.
Okay.
Cedric, it is your turn.
All right, I'm gonna show Zash how punching is done. Go for unarmed strike on the O1.
Okay.
What am I rolling again?
Oh, sorry. Click the +5 next to where on your character sheet it says unarmed strike. That's your ability to hit.
Okay.
Holy shit!
Yeah, you definitely hit him.
You deck it!
Right now, yeah. So that only deals 4 damage. Yep, because that's based on your strength. I think it's your strength +1, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 1 plus your strength. Okay. So yeah, you were punching number 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This thing is not looking healthy as far as you can tell. Its shape is just like on the ground, bubbling, gurgling. You can see it's barely holding form. Zash.
I don't take any acid damage from melee punching it.
No, unless you wanna. I mean, I can make that. I can make that a thing.
I'm just picturing my fist right now. Probably all.
Yeah. I mean, like.
So what happens when you don't hit the air, Zash?
Like this is basically what is hitting you right now. Like this is what it looks like as it's like.
Okay.
Hands all gooey.
So I'm gonna chug my potion.
Okay.
Let's see. That's 2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
Right? 2d4.
Yes. If it's a healing potion, 2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
And let me know what you're at, because I actually did not record that last.
I'm at 5 right
Yeah.
now, and now I'm gonna heal for 6.
All right.
Potions are just regular custom rolls.
So the way that I personally do, the way that I do consumables like potions and stuff is that it's a bonus action. I hate in combat when it takes an entire action to just chug something and like throw it over your shoulder and get back into fight. So
And then I'm gonna hit O1 again.
okay.
And this is just, I'm just punching it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That hits. And 5 more points of damage.
All right. Yeah, you describe your kill.
Being invigorated by watching Cedric punch the shit out of it, I follow suit, and when I punch it, I imagine that it just kind of like shakes a little bit, and then from the frostbite of Shaylin, it just kind of causes it to explode.
Awesome. All right, Vanadar, you watched Cedric and Zash basically just like punch this little pile of pudding and shattered into bits. Funny enough, there are monsters called pudding.
That's awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna be ballsy. You said you could run through allies, right? That's fine.
You can run through an ally, you just cannot end your turn on their turn.
Okay, so
By
I'm
the
gonna
way,
go.
That, the black ichor around that troll, that is black pudding.
That's cool.
Okay, so I want to move here, and I want to move through Cedric, but it won't
Yep.
let me do that. So I'm not really spending 20 feet, right?
Wait, hold on. Yeah, no, that's
Or
fine.
the pile of slime on the ground.
Yeah,
I want to stand where the slime is. The dead
that's fine,
slime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, and then I'm going to turn around and attempt to smack 03 with my mace.
Oh my
Okay.
god. Vanadar's meleeing.
Probably not.
That does hit.
Cool.
I was gonna say, so right now we have flanking on that too, right?
So you do. So yes, I was actually explaining this before. So the way that I do flanking is that if you are surrounding a creature from the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, you get a +1 for each ally around it. So
+1 to
because you
attack or +1 damage?
+1 to attack. It makes it easier to hit your target.
Okay.
So you already hit, so it's no big deal. But basically, the fact that Zash went for 01 and killed him saved Cedric because the jellies would have had that +1 against Cedric after this. So
Oh,
it's good to keep that.
so the fact that I'm being flanked by him now probably
So
isn't
that
a
was
good
a
thing.
good chance of beating my AC. 'Cause they were
It
doing
makes it a little bit easier because you get to add that +1. But yes, Vanadar, that is the case.
So I 5, 10, 15, 20. I still have 10 feet, I think.
You can still
So
move.
okay, so I'm gonna go right there. After I attacked 03.
Sure, that's fine. Do your attack first.
I did. I
Oh,
rolled
that's right.
like a
I'm sorry.
5.
You already did.
Yeah, and it's bludgeoning damage.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I'm very bad at those. Ah, that's not bad though.
That's not
Oh,
bad. Yeah, you did very well. So yeah, what I imagine this is like you move up, push past Cedric and get around him. As your foot catches what is left of the jelly on the ground, you sort of slide through it a little bit, but you keep your balance and you get one nice swing at this thing, and then you like catch yourself on the other side and position yourself across from Zash.
Damn,
Basically,
Vanadar.
yeah, if you're moving through the area where one of these creatures is, you have to make a dexterity saving throw to not like slip and slide.
Got it.
So agile.
And
Iluna. Oh, sorry, no.
nope. I was gonna say that ends my turn.
Okay. Iluna, you can now shoot your flaming arrow.
Better
Yeah.
duck, Zash.
Hmm?
Yeah.
It's like you better
Very
duck.
kind of in a way. Mhm. Draw my flaming arrow, shout, move or duck, and unleash it at number, I don't even know, 3?
The only one that you can see
everybody
right now is
knows.
3. Okay, so go ahead and roll your attack. Very nice.
Oof.
All right, go ahead. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll your normal damage, and then you're going to add an extra D4 of fire damage. So go ahead and click for your damage. All right, and now you're going to roll damage. You're going to roll a D4, and that's going to be your fire damage.
Not
Nice.
bad. Good turn.
All right, yeah. So Zash and Cedric, a flaming arrow screeches past you and hits this thing. The flames sort of like erupt around it, and it like lets out this little gurgle, this just like flames billowing up. The arrow in it just sticking out. Shaylin, it is your turn. You can see this thing is like writhing in pain in front of Zash, but from your sight, you can now see that there's another one that just went for Cedric off to his right.
I was gonna ask if I could see. What is that, 2?
Yes, you can just barely make it out from over there.
How about now?
Oh yeah, you can definitely see it there.
Okay.
Move.
What's up, Stacy?
Yeah, after Iluna shoots, can he move?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
can move. Yeah, I want to be closer.
All right, yeah, go ahead and
I don't
move up
I
to
can
your
move.
movement.
Oh, it's not showing me the little thing. Oh, there it is. Can I?
Yeah,
I kind of want to be on the other side.
you would not be able to get that far. So from
Okay,
where
not
you
that
were,
far, so
yeah, right where,
and I
yeah,
can't
you
stand on anyone else. So
correct. So
Yes,
that is exactly the point that you could get to. So, because these Zash and Cedric are basically taking up the space there.
yeah, I was hoping I could go around somehow, but whatever.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
as
just-
close as I could, guys.
Yeah. You can next turn. Next turn,
Yeah.
like before you attack, you can move around if you want.
All right. So Shaylin, go ahead and do what you would like to do.
Okay. I'm gonna try to entangle 2.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Hopefully it works.
I don't know, it's slime.
I know.
That's a 19. That saves.
Oh, did it do it?
Yes, it
No.
did.
Did I do my part?
Did you do your part? I mean, are you casting Entangle?
Yeah.
Right. So the jelly makes a DC 13 Strength check, and I rolled a 19.
Okay, I clicked it, didn't do anything.
Oh yeah. There's nothing that you have to do for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When you look at your spells, if you ever see where it says like Wisdom or Wiz or STR or Con 13 or whatever that number is, let me know what that is, because then the enemy has to make a saving throw against that.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you cast this. There's like weeds and like vines begin to sprout up and like creep from underneath the stone and through the edges of this temple ground. But the jelly's just like laying over it, and the acid that sort of covers its body is just withering that stuff away.
Darn.
Speaking of which, it is its turn, and it is going to go after Cedric again. That hits. So Cedric, you are going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage and 3 points of acid. So that's 9 points total. And the small one that has been flanked by Zash and Vanadar, it is going to try as it might and go after the one that it weakened a little bit ago. I think that misses. Yes, that does.
Yeah.
All right. So it is now back to Cedric. You just got walloped in the face.
One second.
Do you think? I got pizza out there.
What kind of pizza?
It is Domino's, the garlic butter crust with Alfredo sauce, chicken, mushrooms, feta, and Asiago. So it's basically like a
Yeah, I'm
chicken
sold.
Alfredo. Yeah,
I'm
it's
sold.
good. It's so good.
So if I use second wind, Lucas, is that my action?
So if you use second wind, that is a bonus action.
So I can do both.
You could do both. You could attack with that as well.
All right. I'll do unarmed damage to 03.
Okay. So how much are you? What did you roll for your healing?
I didn't do it yet.
Oh, okay.
Do it after.
Yeah, go ahead and roll to hit. That hits, and that was 4 points of damage. Yeah. Describe your kill.
Oh, he's dead. I pound it into a pile of jello.
Ooh. All right, and go ahead and roll for the amount that you heal. That 1d10 plus 2. All right, 7 hit points. Nice. All right, Zash, it is your turn.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna go around here. Gonna flank it from.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
17.
You're good. You are able to move
Alright.
through them without issue.
And then I am gonna attack. Oh no, I'm just punching it.
Okay.
17 to hit,
22 to hit.
Yeah,
or 22, yeah.
actually, it would be 23 because you and Cedric are now
Oh,
flanked.
right. So 4 points of damage, and then I am going to Flurry of Blows.
Okay.
So that is a 13 and a 18
both
to hit. Alright.
Yep.
7 points and another 7.
All right. Yeah, you do a considerable amount of damage to this thing. Imagine as you like run around, you glide through those dead jellies that are on the floor. You get around to the backside, and you're just like.
I hope it makes that noise.
It's like slapping the side of a pool.
Yeah. It's like you get that like farting putty at the grocery store as a kid, and it's just like putting your thumbs into that. Vanadar.
Okay. I think I need to move right here in order to see it because there's a pillar there.
There is a pillar there, so you could see it there or there. Because the pillar is right underneath it.
I'll go there. And I will cast Toll the Dead.
Nice. Wisdom save. It fails.
So a 1d12. Oof.
Nice. All right. Yeah, you see this thing. He it like it's taken a couple bludgeoning hits from the backside, but all of a sudden you come up to it and you cast this spell, and its form just shudders and wavers in place, and it is it now looks as if it is in danger. Iluna, it is your turn.
I don't have any good attacks.
Well,
I mean,
your arrow did fine. Yeah, you're.
Yeah, it was on fire.
well,
And now she's super cool. She'd be like, ping.
that is 100% true. If you are within 5 feet and you're attacking with a ranged weapon, you do have disadvantage. But you also have some short swords as well.
Yeah, and you have
but
30.
it's gonna make more.
I mean, you have 35 feet of movement, so like you could move like into the center of the room, and then you would still have that range.
30.
I need to move.
Oh, is it 30? Okay. Yeah, or like you could go up top where I was if you want. Like go up into that top left corner and then shoot from there.
Go stand on the altar.
Yeah, great.
Summon the demon lord.
Sacrilege. Woo!
Is this too close?
Too close to what?
Well, to shoot with the ranged weapon, because
Yeah,
before
as
she
long
was
as-
here and it's like,
as long as you're outside of 5 feet.
So
So
one
as
square.
right,
Which is one square.
Yeah, so as long as you're 1 square away from the creature, you don't have disadvantage. If you're anything within, if you're right next to it, you have disadvantage. It's like trying to pull a bow on somebody right in their
Yeah.
face.
We
So
did use a bow and arrow. It would be impossible to like be ridiculous. So
yeah.
um,
So if you are so are you moving back there so that you can shoot?
yeah, I want to be able to shoot it, and look, people are in the way. They're just gonna have to duck
I
again.
think you're fine.
I mean, yeah, you're fine. You can maneuver around that. Yeah, though, but as you're moving away from this thing to get into a better position, you incur an opportunity attack. Because if you move out of the 5-foot radius of a creature's sphere of influence, it gets an attack against you unless you disengage. Yes. So, as you are jumping back and going to get your bow ready to fire at it, you're going to take 14 points of damage. Luna is bloody.
Yes, she is.
Lucas is like salivating at this newbie mistake.
Not so much salivating. It's just opportunity attacks are one of those things that, like, if a creature still has a reaction, getting an opportunity attack is just divine. And if you're playing the forbidden paladin or the forbidden hexadin, opportunity attacks are the only thing that matter for that class. So I love that class.
So when I moved through 2 jellies earlier in the fight, I probably should have taken 2 attack of opportunities.
No, because you stayed. Maybe you should have taken 1 from the 1, which I did miss that because you did like scoot through that little space. So you got lucky.
And on top of that, you're like sliding through its dead friend.
Yeah.
So, question: would that trigger my sentinel?
No,
Okay.
because it is not making an attack action against
It's
her.
just a
using an
reaction.
opportunity.
Okay.
Right.
Can you explain what that is, JJ?
Sentinel
Reaction
is.
against-
I'll type it out to you so she can finish her turn.
So, what's up, Stacey?
Yeah, so she moved, and while she was moving, she was attacked.
Yes. So, like I said, if
And I'm thinking about shooting it, but now I'm pretty damn injured.
you are, because basically what had happened is you turned your attention away from this thing to go and move into a better position to fire at it, and as you went to turn, this
And
like
didn't turn around.
bam just came up and hit you in the back of the head, not nearly knocking you out, but you recover, you get back into form, you can now make your attack.
Now, so I draw my bow in anger, and I hope it hits well.
I will say
I have
this.
to go-
It is very hard. You have a +7 to hit. It is impossible for you to miss, technically. You have a 5% chance to miss.
Oh, good. I
Yeah.
forget where my actions are.
Only way that you can miss it, this thing, is if you roll a 1.
And I definitely scream duck to who's in the way? Cedric.
Cedric.
Move out of the way. I'm ready. This guy's going down. So I roll my little 7.
Yep. Roll your +7.
Wow, it's like
Natural 20.
damn.
Okay. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll a D8 plus 11.
Wait, fighting in rage makes things
So,
happen.
just-
I'm sorry. Roll a D what?
So you're not gonna click. I mean, you can click. Here's what I'm gonna do, because I know we talked about this last time. when you click the button that should now say 2d8 plus 3. Okay? We're gonna take the first roll that you do with that. So go ahead and click that button now.
Click. Oh look, 2 of them actually came down at once.
Yes.
Damn.
So you rolled an 8 and a 3, and you had a +3 because of your regular. So we're gonna go with the first number in there is the first die that you rolled. The way that I do criticals is instead of rolling double the damage die and taking your normal modifier, I give you the maximum that your dice can roll. So just like here, you're getting a 1d8 plus an 8 plus your 3 because of your normal modifier. It makes criticals so much more effective. Last Saturday when I played with my friends here, my one friend cast Inflict Wounds, which is 3d10. He rolled with advantage, got 2 nat 20s, which is double maximum damage. So he had automatically 60 points of damage. He rolled a 19. He killed the creature instantly.
Jeez.
Clerics!
So you rolled a nat 20. You got an 8 plus 11 because of the modifiers. Iluna, describe how you kill this thing with a single arrow. I think a multi-class into barbarian is down your future.
Right.
Oh no.
What I
She's
sort of
pretty bad, so it explodes with fury because that's what she sent at it, and
I think Zash, Vanadar, and me are all covered in goo.
I imagine in this moment, you know, like you were too close. You turned around to get a better footing. You get walloped in the back of the head, and just this fury, this rage, this anger takes you over, and like you grab that arrow, you pull it back as hard as you can, and you're like, get down, and like yelling at Cedric. You let this thing go, and it just digs into this jelly, and just through the sheer force of will, you like basically command this arrow to just do as much damage as possible, and you see the jelly like get hit. There's a shockwave that ripples across its amorphous body, and it just like falls to pieces, goo everywhere at your feet.
can't think of anything clever to say.
I don't think
You're like a snack now. I don't know.
I don't necessarily think Iluna needs to say anything snappy. I think most of the party should be pretty intimidated by her right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so after the fight, I'm gonna look at Cedric, Zash, and Aeluna and be like, who's not doing very good? Like, everyone doing okay?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
okay.
I took a lot of damage, didn't I? Like,
Iluna got
Yeah,
beat
she's
up
fucked
the
up.
side of the head and
I'm-
like
I
nearly
only have
knocked out.
4.
Yeah, I think you
But
only have
can
4 left.
I can't do anything for myself.
You
No,
do
you
have
can.
Healing Word.
Yeah, you have your own
Yeah,
spell
that-
that you could cast to heal yourself.
I can heal myself.
Okay, just let me know what you heal yourself for so I could keep track of it.
While they're
I don't know. How does that work? I've lost it.
So if you want to do that, you roll a d4 plus 2 and just make sure that you use that spell slot there.
Yeah, you could just go to your spells, click cast next to Healing Word, and then hit the 1d4 plus whatever.
Well, actually, hers isn't a d or a cast. She only gets that once.
Oh.
Yeah. But I probably would be trying to self-heal since everything's dead now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now what you're going to do is you're going to click the 1d4 plus 2 next to Healing Word, and that's what you get healed for. There you go. Not a ton, but some. You're not bloodied anymore.
While they're healing up and all that, I'm gonna kind of like look around this room, try to figure out what's going on in here.
Yeah. So, while everybody is getting healed up, you have a look around the room. Like I said, that you can see that there is, there's a temple at the front. You can see the walls around. This map, I personally hate. Out of game, I hate this map because there's little markings on the walls that players can see, and that's not how a good map should be designed. But the walls in here, except for the doors that you entered, all look flat and flush against everything. It looks like one continuous wall around it. There are the 4 pillars that you can see spread around the room. That's mostly what you can see. Now, the altar, you see that it does have a few things on it. There is a symbol of Abathor, as well as a book that has the dwarven markings on it that read out Abathor's word. And give me where, like, are you looking anywhere in particular around this room? Like, tell me what exactly you're looking for.
I would just be looking. I would probably go up to the altar and look at that first because that seems like the most like obvious point of interest.
Yeah, and that really interests Vanadar as well, so I'm gonna go up there as well.
Yeah. I'd
Okay.
probably also look at Vanadar and tell him, hey, you should probably call the dwarves in now since we kind of killed the
Oh,
blobs.
I forgot about that.
So when you if Zash, if you're going up to the altar, you see that behind it there is a small little pocket. Inside of it, you actually find a gemstone. It's a small gemstone, nothing too crazy. Might imagine you could get anywhere from like 5 gold for it, 15, anywhere roughly in there.
Right. And you said there was a book on top too?
Right. You can see that there's a holy symbol there for the dwarven god of greed, Abathor, and that there is a book there that has the words in dwarvish that say Abathor's word. Vanadar, you were going back out to get Dazzlin and Norbis?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you head outside and they say, Norbis looks at you and says, well, what, we heard a bunch of clanging and, a bunch of sounds in there. What happened?
The creatures are no more. We took care of them.
Nice. Good job.
Their dead bodies are still in there. If you don't believe us, you could come take a look yourself.
Dazzlin just says, yeah, no thanks. We'll get rid of that. That's gross. And yeah, so they head inside with you. I'm not going to move them just because it makes life hell. Because I'd have to re-add them because they technically don't exist anymore.
Was there any? There probably isn't anything to loot or get from the gelatinous oozes bodies, was there?
From the jellies, roll me a perception check. Actually, roll me an investigation.
It's not bad.
What do you want to scoop some of the remains in a jar?
Maybe.
That's what I want to do.
It's free lunch. What are you talking about? You're the one who said we do have bread.
I'm thinking we all need to take a shower and you're scooping their guts off the floor.
Sure you don't want to scrape it off my arms, Vanadar?
I mean, from a Luna's frickin' shockwave arrow splattered it all on the 3 of us, probably.
There's no more to explore. I'm not exactly sure what we can. Like new doorways.
You gotta look
Look
around.
We gotta look around.
Can we just move our little?
Yeah, you can move them.
Oh. I would be up here then.
We're looking around. I come up in this rubbly place, and it's not doing nothing. Why can't I go in there? Nope.
You better not stumble onto anything bad.
Well, I mean, you can go up in there. Like you can see up inside this. This was like right as you were going in, Iluna. It's just rubble. There's really nothing in there that is anything worthwhile.
And since it's still pretty dark in here now that we're moving around, I'm gonna go ahead and like
Shaylin, come back.
I'm gonna go ahead
There's a
and
hidden hallway down there.
I'm gonna touch my shield and cast light on it.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. So yeah, you still have. So the light from your arrow dies out when you cast that. And Vanadar, I will turn. Are you casting it any particular color?
Let's make it blue. I'm in a blue mood.
Dark blue or light blue?
Light blue.
Light blue, like robin's egg or sky.
DM's pick. How about that?
Very.
Oh, that's
There you go.
perfect. That's really cleric-esque too.
Yeah.
I have a shield. Can you put that on mine too?
So
It's-
you can only
it's
cast
not-
it on one item.
It's not concentration.
But if you check out your spells, you will see that it says that.
Oh, I get. Yep, I got it.
Again.
Got it.
So while you were investigating,
Whoa,
the,
that's so cool.
Oh
Yes,
wow, that's awesome.
if you click a spell, it will send everyone the details.
That's so cool.
It
So
is.
you could have done that with your feet.
Yeah. Here, I'll just do that real quick.
I don't know if feats work the same way. I'm sure it does.
There's a button that says share on Encounter Plus.
Yeah, I don't know if a feat does the same thing. Spells definitely do.
It does.
Oh,
Damn.
There you go.
That's so helpful.
Okay, so Tony, what I want you to do, 5, 10. I want you to roll me a D20.
Okay.
I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick.
Do yo thing.
Wow.
I'll be
So,
right back, too.
yep. So while you are looking through this, thing, you actually do notice something in it. You didn't notice anything in the two smaller ones, but in the large one, you notice that there is a small little stone, and what catches your eye is it has a dwarven rune on it, and you recognize this rune as it basically means light or illuminate, depending on how it's translated. You're not exactly sure what this is at first, but roll me a history check to see if you recognize this thing. So you've heard of these. You've never seen one, but because of the way that this thing is, you might think that this is an ancient dwarven runestone. And seeing that it has the rune of light on it, you might think that it can do something that creates light of some kind. Now, you've heard that these runestones, these ancient dwarven runestones, they can be attached to, equipment, weapons, armor, items. You're not exactly sure how they work, but you've heard of them in tale.
Okay. So if I would want to add that to my equipment, like what would I?
You're gonna look up so Vanadar would not know the details of it, but you're gonna add the you're gonna type in runestone under equipment and look for illuminate.
Got it.
So I want to bring this up because rune stones are not something that are innately found in like D&D, but basically what they are is I have a list of these items that range from like common to, uncommon, rare, very rare, different things that you can either attach to a piece of equipment or an item or a weapon, and then it does things to that. It gives you buffs. It's in the notes. It's in that session negative 0.5 that I sent everyone. How they work.
And that could be, if that's where I read it at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So basically, the way that it works is like a standard item can have a single rune attached to it, but like an uncommon item, like a +1 weapon, as long as it doesn't already have other magical abilities, it can have 2 runes attached. A +2 weapon can have 3, and a +3 weapon can have 4. And like I said, if it has any other spells or like abilities attached to it, a rune cannot be attached to it. So, just wanted to let you guys know that because that's more of like a custom thing.
Quick bathroom break. I'll be right back.
Yep. So to reply to what Stacy was asking, you were looking around the room. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Door
Okay.
or
So,
something that would be a doorway.
all right. So roll me a perception check.
Also, as a note, I'm gonna grab that book.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that was already done.
No, it's I just never specified that I was gonna do that or not.
Totally lost where I can roll perception.
You missed it.
checks.
Vanadar fell down a hole.
Did he?
Just kidding.
Oh.
You're
So
alright,
roll
Vanadar?
perception to find first. Oh, holy hell.
Yeah, it should just be
That
right
was
in
a
the middle.
7. I thought it was 1.
Yeah, no, yeah, you have a +4 to your perception. There you go. Okay, yeah, you look around the room. You don't really find anything. Like like I said, the walls are basically flush, flat up against them. You don't notice anything in particular. So it basically just seems like this room, like there was that rubble room, and then there was this temple area, and it seems like that's about it.
Shaylin found a little hallway down there.
Yeah.
Shayla moved her character where she's not supposed to yet. There is a way for me to actually restrict that stuff. Like I can add floors, and like make them different colors, and you can only step on certain colors at certain times. Like if I move you to it, you can move yourself across those colors, but it's a pain in the ass, and I don't like doing it.
Still super curious about this rubble and wants to dig through it in case something got buried.
I'll go with her to give her some light, even though she can see it's too dark.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys take a little while. You dig through this this area. You can see that it looks like it leads back a little ways. But it seems as if this, like, it never got like fully excavated through, or it like came, when this place was buried at one time, it was just covered.
Can dig through the rubble though?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was just explaining. You did. You found nothing.
We found nothing.
You found rubble.
No.
I mean, you found plenty of rocks. They're nice rocks, like temple rocks and rubble rocks.
Maybe he takes a temple rock as a trophy for no apparent reason.
Sure. Yeah, you put a rock in your bag.
The best he finds.
Oh my
So,
Oh Lord.
can I like feel around on the altar? Is there like any hidden compartments, anything like that?
roll me an investigation check. So you're looking around it. You do feel like there's a lip on this thing. As you're moving your hands around it, you found that little slot where that gemstone was. You reach your hand in, like you're trying to feel around. All of a sudden, you feel like your hand depressed something where that gemstone was sitting, and right over here, you hear this like of rock moving.
Okay, I'm gonna go over and check it out.
Okay. Yeah, so you walk over there, you look at this column that was there, and as you press this button, you see that like a small compartment opens up into it, and you can see that there is like a container in there that has the symbol of Abathor on it.
Okay, can I open the container?
Roll me a sleight of, or you try to open it and you cannot.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
Vandar,
going.
can you open it?
I'm actually gonna use the wand of detect magic on it.
Okay. You cast the spell detect magic. You don't detect magic from it. You imagine maybe it's just a standard lock, but you do detect illusion magic around you, namely
Oh shit! What?
right here.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. I'm gonna walk on over there.
Yeah.
How big was the container?
About the size of this box.
Okay, so I can just pick it up and put it in my pocket and try to open it up later?
You can put it in a bag. I imagine it's a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
hefty for a pocket.
Yeah, in my sack, in my bag, in
Yeah.
my backpack. Okay.
Yeah. So while you're doing this, you actually can hear there's something, like you can feel there's something in it shifting around. So
maybe
Vanguard-
Cedric can just like outright like break it open. He has a higher strength, I think.
Vanguard, roll me while he is getting this out, I want you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh. Oh, I have advantage on those.
You do.
Oh, well, good thing, because that was garbage. That was the same roll! Oh no!
Vanadar, why does Zash get it? He got that book, right? He took Abathor's book. I mean, he claims that there was a small little gemstone in that altar that he threw in his pack. Now he has this little coffer. Why is Zash getting everything? This thought's permeating your mind.
I narrow my eyes and go over and try to go in Zash's pack and just try to take it for myself.
Wow.
Okay,
Do-
yeah.
I assume I see him trying to steal my shit. So
I
I'm
imagine so.
gonna kind of like turn and look at him. Vanadar, what the hell are you doing?
You got the book. This should go to... what if I want this? Why should you just have it?
Yeah, I mean, you're a worshipper of a dwarven god. I mean, he just lives with dwarves.
Exactly. I feel like it belongs to me.
So you want the book? I was just gonna read it later and
No,
try to see what it was about.
You could keep the book. Give me the coffer.
Well, the coffer is in the part. I hold the party's inventory shit.
Okay,
I'm
well...
just putting it in there so that we can have it.
Okay,
and mess
what-
with it later.
I'll just have it in my pack.
What is this about? You've never had an issue with me collecting things for the party before.
Well, now I do.
It's a dwarven relic. I mean, you are called to this land by a dwarven god. I mean, why would you not have the dwarven relics?
Exactly. Like what if Morden meant for me to get this?
Then you would have found it. Were you the one who investigated and found the switch?
Zash, I think you should just hand it over.
I
I
think
mean, if it's that big of an issue, then yeah, you can just have it. But I don't really see what the problem is. I
Okay.
was just collecting it.
well then let me collect it instead. If we need to, we could open it later, but I want to carry it.
Okay, I kind of like bewildered a little bit and confused. And I
Vanadar,
look
where
at
is this coming from?
Vanadar and I say, buddy, you've never shown this level of want for something random that we found in an abandoned temple.
But have we ever found a dwarven relic? No.
No, but you're kind of acting a little weird here.
This is a temple to a dwarven god. I worship a dwarven god. It should go to me.
Do you worship a dwarven god though? I mean, like, yeah, you kind of talk to him and stuff, but I don't think I've ever seen you worship this guy before.
I mean,
You can have it. Like, you can have it. I'm just trying to, like, I've just never seen you act like this before.
all right, well, just hand it over.
I don't know.
Vanadar, what is going
on?
I don't think I need to explain myself any further than I am. It's
I think you kind of do.
it's a dwarven clerical or otherwise magic. It should go to me. It's mine. And hand it over.
What?
I kind of look at Cedric and he's acting weird, right? Like, it's not just me.
Okay, like how strong is this effect? Like would it be to the point where like this is my like number one desire at the current time and place?
I will say this: you have a desire to own. You don't have a desire to kill your friend over this. I will say that. You don't necessarily have a desire to, go to throws with somebody that could stand up for themselves. But your desire for it is pretty strong. You know what? Roll me another wisdom saving throw.
Sorry, my mom texted me and called me a thief.
Well, I love like I'm sitting over here with the orange lantern ring, just like.
You said another wisdom check?
Yeah, do another wisdom check or a wisdom save. Wisdom
Okay.
save.
Advantage?
Well, yeah, because you make it with
Jesus.
advantage. So, as sort of everyone is giving you this weird look, like your quarry spirit, in the back of your head, you're sort of like getting this thought of like, it's four against one.
It's
You
true.
can't do this.
No, Luna's on your side. She thought he was gonna get the dwarven things.
Okay.
Same reason.
Yeah, I mean in that case, you have this voice in your head. It's like look, the Ranger's on your
But
side.
nobody needs to.
Yeah, it's like the Ranger's on your side, but your friend and this big guy Cedric.
Forgot the big
Just because
guy.
of your fervor of wanting it,
Yeah.
Vanadar, I
And-
think we're gonna have to. I want Zash to hang on to it. Just because we
And-
never
and
seen
yeah.
you act like this before.
So-
And after that, you sort of like have this realization of like, I don't. Okay, it's just gonna cause more trouble if I continue pressing the matter, so I'm gonna relinquish it for now.
It's not going anywhere.
Okay. I like narrow my eyes and look at his ass and Cedric and be like, okay, well, you win this one.
All right, buddy.
I mean, I don't know why your freaking chainmail's getting in the here. We can open it together. Jesus.
Oh my god, I love this.
Something else. We let Vanadar grab it up first, as long as he, or at least have first decline if he's not interested.
Yeah, yeah, sounds about right.
It's fine.
Or I found it. I'm the one who pulled the
I think
investigation.
Zash would have gave it to you if you weren't so
Yeah, you dick.
pushy about it.
But okay, I have another question. If I like they saw me cast the detect magic, would
Oh yeah, that door in your eyes is still glowing.
it's a door?
I mean, you see an illusion there. There is,
But they don't see that?
They don't, because you're the one casting it through the wand. So, like, you can, like, when you were coming in, where that rubble room is, where you spent a little bit of time, you could see that the wall looked as if it was just flush with everything else, but it was hinged. You imagine this might be the same situation.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at them and be like, do you guys don't see this glowing over here?
Now what are you
What
talking about,
glowing?
Vanadar? Are
Dude,
you all right?
Did you hit your head?
No, like the gnomes gave me this wand of detect magic. I cast it on the box that Zash found, and this
Why don't we believe him?
exactly.
Because
But
he's talking nonsense. First he was going after my container that I found. Now he's talking about a door? That's clearly a wall. Dude, I think you hit your head. Did
It's-
you like fall when you slid through the sludge monster?
no, I didn't. But it's glowing. There's clearly something magical about this. Maybe that's what came over me as to
Okay.
really want that relic that I still kind of low key kind of want.
Or I just don't know you as well as I thought I did. Okay, well, I'm not touching no glowy magical door.
Can I like put my hand out and like try to push through it?
Yeah, you put your
Do I
hand
die?
on it, and
I'm stepping
yeah,
back.
you put your hand on it, and it gives just a little bit of resistance. But as you apply a little pressure, you can see that it opens up into a hallway.
Okay, so before I go into it, I'm gonna walk back over. Oh no, I'm gonna walk
Do
back
we
over
see
here.
that happen?
Yes, you absolutely see
Where?
that.
I'm gonna pick up one of these rocks,
Okay.
and I'm gonna come back over here, and I'm gonna throw it through just to make sure nothing happens. Well, I can't move my character, so yeah, I'm gonna just toss the rock through the corridor and see, make sure nothing happens.
Yeah, you throw it, you see it sort of bounces off the wall, you hear the as it like, tumbles down. That's you don't, that's about it. You just hear it like clicking through the hallway.
Do you guys want me to go scout it out?
Do you see it?
What more gems?
We see the hallway now?
Yes. Yeah. So
Oh,
so
okay.
after he pushes this open, basically just like that first area where all the rubble was, it looks as if like that flush, smooth
Yeah.
hue stone just swings open into this hallway.
Okay, so to show Zash that there's no hard feelings, and since she's gonna go exploring, I'm gonna tap him and cast guidance again in case he needs it.
When Vanadar touches me, I kind of like flinch away from him. Like, what are you trying to steal from me this time? kinda uncertain about you right now, buddy.
I say under my breath, like, listen, if I wanted it badly enough, I could have taken it.
Jeez, that's a threat.
We'll deal with that one later.
All right, Zash, roll me a stealth check.
With D4. If you
With
accept the guidance. I don't know, you kind of flinched away.
Should make Vanadar walk
Reluctantly,
down
I
this hallway.
do. Okay,
Yeah,
I've like disappeared from sight. I rolled a 23 total.
Oh wow. Yeah, so you begin to head down this hallway. You're very quiet. As you round the corner, you can actually see that there is that there's another one of those jellies down at the end
Oh,
of the
shit.
hallway. It hasn't spotted you or anything, but you can see that you can see that it's like just sort of like clung to the ceiling.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna tell them there's a hallway. Did I see anything other than the jelly in the hallway?
Nope.
Oh.
All done. Good session, guys.
Is that him getting disconnected?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Did I see anything else in the hallway other than the jelly?
Roll me a perception check from when you were in there.
With +4,
Oh,
because
fair.
he still has guidance.
Oh shit.
Does that just keep going?
It's concentration for a minute. Here, let me link it so everyone can see it.
Once before the spell ends, a target can the target can add that bonus.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I only rolled a 9.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't see anything. You saw that there was rubble. You saw that the hallway sort of curved off to the right. So you might think that there's another entrance into that area from the other side of the temple, or that might lead somewhere else. But there didn't really seem to be anything extra in there.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back. I tell them, so it rounds again further down, but the problem is there's another jelly hidden on the ceiling. It didn't see me, but it's there. I saw it. There might be another entrance on the other side of this hall, but I don't know. All I know is there's at least one jelly hidden on the ceiling up there.
Should we take a point out of how we started the mimic fight and let Eluna just like shoot it from afar to start the fight?
Well, so the thing is this corridor is definitely going to be single file. We could try to fight it in there, or maybe, we could have Eluna shoot it and then run back out.
Or
How far down was the jelly? Like, how many feet-ish?
You guys threw the bet about 20 feet.
About 20 feet.
I mean, you're more mobile than she is, so don't you want to try like throwing a dart or your boomerang at it and then dashing backwards?
I'm not throwing my boomerang at it. I'll throw a dart though. I ain't letting it get my boomerang. Little Johnny's got to stay with me.
Do we want to try like fire again?
It seemed to have worked against the other one, so maybe before we go into it, maybe you should prep a couple arrows.
But we have torches. Can we like
chuck a torch at it?
Yeah, run in there and catch it on fire.
Well, how about if we set one of my darts on fire? Like I could stick it in I could coat it in your mushroom oil and then have you light it on fire. I mean, it shouldn't take much oil to light a little dart on fire. And then I can run out and we can fight it out here instead of trying to single file into that room. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yeah.
You what?
No, I agree. We won't be able to fight it well when there's not much space. It definitely has an advantage being.
Okay, so how about everybody get into position, and then I'll go chuck a flaming dart at this thing.
Yep, get yourselves into whatever position you wish.
But I don't want to get stuck in something else.
And then once you're ready, Zash, set yourself up where you want to be from when you would have run out there. Because then we will start combat from that point.
Okay, I imagine just like right there.
Okay. So we're gonna start initiative. But you're going to attack first because you're getting a surprise round. So everyone roll initiative.
Does he get the bonus fire damage as well?
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna account for that. love how your mom texted you about that.
Yeah.
That
She's like, Vanadar's getting possessed.
That was crazy. I'm intrigued.
First I glow blue, and then I...
Right? Now you're trying to steal from your friend. Jeez.
all right. So yeah, go ahead and roll the attack, Zash. Okay,
14.
that hits. Go ahead and so you're gonna roll 2d4. One of that's gonna be the piercing. The other one's gonna be fire.
Okay. The first one's piercing, and then the 4 fire damage, so 10 total.
Okay. So yeah, you like head down the hallway again. You catch a glimpse of it. Light, you have Iluna, this, druid craft this thing on fire, and give it a good throw. You can see the light sort of fills that hallway. And as that happens, it hits into the side of the jelly, and the jelly falls down from the ceiling, just and it like starts making its way up towards you, and it gets to you hear that it starts like sloshing through the hallway. It's a couple seconds. You have time to get yourselves ready as you see it beginning to come out of the hallway. And as you catch sight of it, that's where we're going to start combat. It is Shaylin's turn.
Okay.
This guy's about to get dumped on.
I'm going to move up one spot here and then hit Lancing Bolt.
Another flaming arrow again while he's running down there.
Yes, yeah, you have enough time to wrap, oil, light. Lancing bolt, okay. So go ahead and roll your attack. That hits. Okay, go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh, I thought I just did.
No, that was your chance.
Yeah, that was your chance to hit.
Oh. So I hit the 1d8?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
2. I mean, hey, two is still a thing. Sorry, didn't mean to click that there. Crap. 1 second. As you do this, you cast Lancing Bolt. Jolt of electricity fires forward and arcs across this thing. You see the inside of it begin to bubble and boil, and it splits into 2 creatures.
Fuck.
What?
Damn it, Shaylin.
Sorry.
Give me 1 second to adjust its HP. Oh, I love ochre jellies for this reason.
Okay, so slashing and lightning damage is what splits them so far.
It's almost as if it's only 2 things that can do it.
What are the odds that you pick the element?
I will say
That
this.
splits it.
Yeah.
Every group that I have ever played, you are the only, or that I've ever run through this, you're the only group that killed the first 2 jellies without help from the dwarves. I give you credit for that. Then again, you have 5 people. Most groups I had like 3 or 4. Give you that.
Plus,
But everyone
forgot.
has a split of jelly.
Oh, we forgot about those dwarves.
No, we called him back in.
We did call them in.
They didn't want to come
After we
in.
killed-
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
after we killed them.
They're doing their own thing right now. So this jelly is going to move out and like squelches into position. Cedric, being the first thing that it sees, is going to attack him. That's a 23. Cedric, you get walloped for a devastating 15 hit points. The second one is going to sort of ooze around it, and is going to go after Vanadar. It is just right there. That misses.
That misses.
And that is going to be Iluna's turn. If you're talking, Stacy, I can't hear you.
I'm low on health.
I gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How injured is Cedric then?
I have 7 life.
Out of a 24, you think he might be like a 7.
Get what I am, but I know she's not really very high either.
What's that?
I don't know how Iluna's health either.
I mean, you should be keeping track of that on your character.
Yeah, you have 7, if my math's correct.
Okay.
I actually had
something.
I actually had her at 11.
Oh,
No, because she healed using her spell.
yeah, but wasn't it for only for like 3? We could scroll up and look.
I don't know. We'll say right now, just because it's a little bit higher. I'll let you be at 11.
It was a 1d4 plus 2, and she rolled a 3. Oh, so 5.
No, it would have been 2. It was 1 plus 2.
Okay, yeah, okay.
But yeah, just make sure, Stacy, on the top of your character sheet on the right-hand side, where it says 18 out of 18, just make sure that next to that there's a little text box that you can add and subtract hit points. Make sure you keep track of those.
Then,
You're
I'm
gonna
doing
be
that now.
Yeah, you're going to be at 11 right now, so I'm going to let you be at 11.
Okay. Okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, so you're not, the worst for wear. But yeah, like I said, you do have that flaming arrow prepped. So if you want to attack with that, you can do that.
We probably should have had a short rest before we went down that hallway.
It's fine. I'm not worried.
It's always an option in the future.
Besides, everyone but Zash has healing potions, too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm gonna use mine.
All right, so what are you doing, Stacy?
I'm gonna shoot my flaming arrow.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your attack.
I don't even know whichever one's sticking out.
There's one a little bit closer, there's one a little bit further away, but they both look to be about the same shape.
Okay. The closer one.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
Wait. Cedric's like in peril, so the one closest to him.
Okay. Yep, so you're going to be attacking number 1.
So I should do it.
You're +7. Yeah, click the +7. It'll roll for you. Nice. That hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. And remember, you're going to add an extra D4 for fire.
That from the side, then.
Yeah, from the corner.
Good turn.
All right. Yeah.
You've been rolling really high damage.
Cedric. This thing just came out the corner, just right up the face. Got that burning sensation going on. And not the good kind, if there is one.
I think I'm gonna disengage.
You're going to disengage. Okay, so where are you moving to?
There.
Okay. So are you doing anything else? Are you drinking a health potion or something?
I was gonna throw a dagger.
Oh, okay. Well,
No, I'm
if
just
you
kidding, guys.
okay, because I was gonna say, you used your action to disengage, but you can use your bonus action if you want to drink that health potion if you want to heal yourself up a bit.
No, I'm gonna rely on Vanadar.
Okay.
I think I'm safe.
All right. Zash.
Okay, so... Here. I can't move. Yeah, so... Can I still hit, the first one from where I'm at?
Yes, you can hit both of them if you want.
Okay, so after seeing Iluna and them throw or hit the first one. I'm gonna attack it.
Okay.
And punch it. It's 23.
Definitely hits.
And 7 points of damage. And then for my bonus action, I'm gonna burn a key and go with patient defense.
Okay. Does that give you?
It gives me the dodge action.
Okay, so that means that attacks against you have disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Vanadar. It is
Okay.
your turn.
I have a question that I think I asked you before. My voice of authority. It says it, if I cast a spell with a spell slot of first level or higher and target an ally with the spell, that ally can use the reaction immediately after the spell to make one weapon attack against a creature of your choice. That could be technically a ranged weapon attack too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's just a weapon attack.
Okay, so I'm going to start my turn off with Toll the Dead on 01.
Okay. That is a wisdom save.
Yes.
Oh.
And that's a 1d12 because he's taking damage.
Yep. The gong rings out and vibrates this thing till it becomes a pile
Nice.
of goo.
Nice.
Okay, and then I will use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on Cedric.
Okay.
So that is 7 points of healing.
There you go.
And then my voice of authority procs, and if he wants to, he can use his reaction to take a weapon attack on 02.
Yeah.
Which-
So Cedric, you have an opportunity right now where you can use your reaction to make a weapon attack against this. So you could throw a dagger or something,
Or shoot your crossbow.
or
You
shoot
guys
your crossbow.
recommend that? Can these things split anymore? Or should
I-
we
So
just
far,
go for the damage?
So far, you know that slashing across the middle, as Zash did, split it, and that zapping it with electricity did it when Shaylin cast that spell. You don't know anything else beyond that.
We do know that Zash threw a dart, which is piercing damage, and that didn't split it.
That's-
Yeah, and Iluna's been shooting them with arrows. And that
True,
hasn't
yes.
splitting it, so.
So yes,
Okay,
you are
then.
very comfortable thinking if you shoot it with your crossbow, you will be okay.
Okay, I'll do that.
So, yep. So you're gonna roll the +4 next to that. That hits.
Nice.
Roll your damage. Nice.
Free attack.
Nice
There
turn,
you go.
Vanadar.
All right, Shaylin, it is back to you.
Okay, so I picked Circle of the Moon. How do I turn into my wolf form?
You just do it. You use your action. So when you wish to wild shape, you go into your features and traits menu, and if you scroll down a little bit, there's the wild shape part, and you have 2 uses of it per short rest. So you click that little box, and then you go. I will add it for you. So if you see that little extra thing on the side there, off to the right past notes, you will see, if you reload your page, I added the statistics for a wolf. I highly recommend going through the list of stuff that you can possibly transform into and add a couple that sound appealing to you and keep those in there.
Okay. Is that something I wasn't able to do on my own before?
No, you can. You can go into manage extras, and there's a part that says add extras, and you change the category to wild shape, and then you type in whatever you want to look for. But now whenever you go into extras, you'll see that you have a wolf stat block, which shows you what you can and cannot do. But keep in mind that does. You took the Circle of the Moon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you can do that as a bonus action. So you still have a regular action.
How do you know that? That's a bonus.
So,
action?
Circle of the Moon, you can use Wild Shape as a bonus action, and you can bonus action to expend 1 spell slot to regain 1d8 hit points per level of the spell slot expended. So, Circle of the Moon is the druidic subclass that is more focused around your ability to transform into your wild shapes. So, in my opinion, it's the better one. It allows me to transform into a bear. That's all I care about. So, yes. So, but she gets that ability to do it as a bonus action, so she can still use her action to go after this thing and attack it.
So I don't
So
have to do anything under extras, or do I?
no, so if you go under
Okay.
extras, you can view the stat block, and so as in your wolf form, you have the keen hearing and smell. You have pack tactics, which gives you advantage on attacks if one or more of your allies is within 5 feet of your enemy, and your attack is a +4 to hit and deals 2d4 piercing damage. And you can also, if it's a creature, you can have it succeed on a strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Damn.
So what you're going to do is, if you want to attack this, roll a d20 +4.
What kind of damage is that?
It's piercing, he said.
She's
I
what
use
she's
dice
doing.
on the side.
Yeah, you use the
Okay.
dice on the side. Yeah, so basically what you guys just saw is Shaylin on her turn, she just sort of like, you know, however she wants to flavor it, but she turns into a wolf standing before you.
What the hell does this slime bucket do to you?
Did it do anything? The dice?
It did not.
You click the D20, then you have to hit roll.
Oh,
Yep,
I was trying to let you figure that out.
thanks.
there you go.
Good
So
roll.
that hits, so go ahead and roll your damage. So you're going to click the D4 twice, and then you are going to click roll.
Click it twice.
All right. Not the most, but hey, it's your first time. Yeah, you like I said, you see Shaylin transform into this wolf, and she goes and bites it. Actually, you have pack tactics. Roll that d20 again, just to see if you would get a nat 20.
What's that do?
If
You
she
get-
would have got a nat 20, it would have given her
Yeah.
that. It would have given her
A
immediate
critical.
damage. Yeah.
And pack tactics gives, if she's surrounded by an ally, it gives her advantage on her attacks.
Yep. Pack tactics is really good to have. All right. So it is the Jelly's turn. It is not looking good. It's just gonna try and attack the first thing that it sees, and it's gonna go for Zash. That hits.
It's disadvantage because I'm dodging.
Oh, that's right. Good call. You're lucky.
Damn!
I'm very lucky because that was me going down.
Yeah. All right. Iluna, it is your turn.
So disadvantage is you rolling again, Lucas, and having to pick the lower one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And advantage is the opposite.
Yep. So if it's disadvantage or advantage, you roll twice, and you take whatever's the highest and lowest, advantage and
A
disadvantage.
13 would have killed you, Zash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
if-
only at 11. I only have 11 HP right now.
What the hell happens if you die?
So
Well, I would have went unconscious and then start throwing death saves.
if you fall to 0 hit points, you start making death saving throws. You roll a d20. If it's anything above a 10, you get a success. Anything below a 10, it's a failure. Or 10 and above is a success. Anything below a 10 is a failure. 3 successes, and you're not dying anymore, but you're not up. If you roll a natural 20, you're back up with 1 hit point. If you roll 3 failures, you're dead. And if you roll a nat 1 on a saving throw, you get 2 failures.
Oh, jeez.
And then I think if they attack you while you're down,
It's if somebody attacks you while you're unconscious, it's automatically if they hit you, it is automatically a critical hit. So if you are down and unconscious and a creature's coming over and batting at you, you're probably gonna die. So it's quite urgent to get your friends up. So what are you doing, Ailu?
Shooting Well, I guess I ran out of. We didn't discuss how many things I prepared that would catch on fire.
I think it was only one because you were preparing one as it was coming up the hallway,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you guys were like discussing what you were gonna do, and during that time, I would let her do that. You have 3 right now. You used
Okay.
1, so you have 2 more. So,
Oh,
but keep in
then-
mind,
How
it's
much
not
oil do you
lit.
have?
It's not lit.
I'm sorry. Okay, it's not lit. It's
right.
available to catch. So if I light it, that's the end of my action.
Because you have to use Druidcraft as a full action, then yes.
Okay. Well, it seems like we need to just finish this thing, so I sling another arrow at it.
Okay.
No, shoot. Press the button. No, that's good.
All right. Go ahead and roll your damage. That hits. Very nice. All right, Cedric. This thing is not looking good. Losing its shape.
I'm gonna
It's
ask.
Yeah.
Bloodied.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
fire another bolt.
Okay. That hits. Roll your damage. All right. Describe your kill.
Another one bites the dust.
Okay. Yeah. So you take your crossbow, you shoot this thing. Basically, this thing was just like bludgeoned with arrows, bit into by the wolf, which she is actually still in. And yeah, combat is over. You guys defeated the 2 ochre jellies.
Okay. I think we should maybe just chill and take a short rest.
Before we do that, I'm gonna, knowing that I got that runestone off the other one, I'm gonna go and sift through the gelatinous yumminess
This Vanadar guy, man.
and see if I can find anything.
All right. Roll me an investigation check.
Probably nothing. Just found some goo.
So I think while everyone's sort of bandaging themselves up, you do find something. It's not another runestone. It's like a little circular medallion. It has a symbol on it, but you're not exactly sure. But it seems really familiar. You can't exactly make out where you've seen this, but it does seem kind of familiar.
Okay. I'm gonna pull the wand of detect magic out and cast it on it as well.
Okay, so you cast that. There's no magic to it.
Okay.
You're still just detecting. Like you can detect there's illusion magic within an area of you, and you can you're detecting magic from that runestone. But this is not giving off any magical vibes.
Do I
Okay.
see him with the wand out casting detect magic?
Roll me a perception check.
18.
Yeah, you see him. He you see him like sifting through this thing, wearing his like plate gloves, and he plucks something out, like wipes it off, sort of glances at it, pulls out the wand and casts the spell again.
So I go over and I kind of tap him on the shoulder. Hey, Vanadar, give me that. It's mine. I threw the dart. It's mine. Just kidding, buddy. Have you walked around the temple?
Sash, you see the thing that's in his hand? That's the symbol of the Phoenix Tabaxi.
What?
Oh shit.
That's the symbol. That's the symbol of your mother's clan. And that's where we're gonna call it for the night.
Fuck me.
Now you both have something each other wants.
Okay, so wait, we're doing a short rest before, or is this like a long rest?
So you're not at. I mean, you can. We can address that next time because I feel like this is a very good stopping point. If during the next if during the break, if you guys want to if you plan on having a rest here, we can address that during next session. But for right now, we're just gonna pause it as he's looking at this symbol of his mother's clan, and as the gears start turning in his head.
All right.
And he found that just in the remnants of one of the good
Right.
guys.
Yep, in that ochre jelly that came out, he found that.
What a good sign.
Yeah.
It's a good stopping point.
God damn it.
I the moment he's like I'm searching through this, I'm like, cool. I hope you do.
God, I was thinking about going through it, but I knew that Tony went through the other one, so I was like, I'll let him do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh man.
Hey, mine.
So much good character development today.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys.
That was a wonderful session, guys. I thank you for joining us, and to all those that are watching through Tony's stream, there you are. That's TV.
All right, guys. See you next Sunday.
Yep. I'll see you guys later.
You want to do like what, 4 o'clock?
So I'm
Going
like,
4.
I'm shooting for closer to 4. I'm getting out of work at 3:30. Like having enough
Yeah,
time
me
to get
too.
home. Yeah,
Right.
so we can shoot for like people getting on and like starting to set up and getting ready for 4. But like we'll probably start proper closer to 4:30 just to give everyone time to get home, get set up, do all
Right.
that, because that's like with me, like I said, luckily I got out of work a little earlier today, but that's it. I'm planning on being out of work at like 3:30, so we'll shoot for 4:30 to be our start time.
Okay.
Make sure everyone has their proper health total so we know like where to start off next week.
Yeah,
So-
I'm gonna leave
Before our short rest.
Yeah,
you
before.
guys aren't. Yeah, we're not doing any short rest right now. So I think I have a Luna at 11, Cedric at 14, Shaylin and Vanadar should be maxed out, and Zash should have 11.
Yep, that's what I have to.
So Sash legit noticed that stone, and that's
Yep.
It's pretty recognizable, at least from him. So we'll find out more about that on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.